big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. We are back again. Had to take a little bit of a break yesterday because I had a bunch of business to take care of, but I am back and able to deal with this kind of business. And there's a whole lot of business going on, I would say, because of all the things that are going on with this team. But we persevere on. So again, welcome to Liverpool 12 Man Show. This one feels different for sure than others because we're going to be talking about a lot of legends in this legends and hometown boys. It's everything kind of going into one, everything hitting at once, I would say. Injuries stacking up, players linked away, questions about Slot. And that growing feeling that this team is changing before our very eyes, and maybe not in the direction or the places or in the direction that we wanted to see be changed. So tonight we're going to break it all down, but more importantly, I want to hear from the panel because this is where opinions are going to definitely be split about some of these topics. And that's why I have Lee here with me. How you doing, Lee?
Good, yeah, good. A little bit worried, about the direction of the club, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's a wild one. I wrote an op-ed that I I wanted to definitely. I'll give a little bit of a little snippet of what I wrote, but it's an interesting take that I have with what we're seeing happen to this team. And unfortunately for a lot of us, it's going to be a harsh take, in the sense of that it's not a comfortable take, but it is certainly a take that kind of needs to be said because I know, it's better to be able to project your thoughts rather than sit there and not allow for yourself to be spoken on, or spoken out. So. Let's just jump right into it because this is the big portion of what I wanted to really get into. Injuries. Liverpool have been hit again, obviously. Alisson Becker is not in training. Joe Gomez is still out. Alisson's supposed to be joining the team. He's supposed to be joining the team soon. I'm hoping that he'll be involved in training, full training for our upcoming, not this very next match, but the upcoming match against Manchester United. Joe Gomez is still out. Mamardashvili is injured. Hugo Ekitike is out long term, which means we could be looking at Freddie Woodman starting. I asked for this. I didn't want it to come this way. Basically, I asked for Freddie Woodman to start because I was kind of upset or disappointed in the distribution of our goalkeeper, Mamardashvili. And now that's where we're at right now. I don't want to overtalk it, I guess you could say. I'll just ask you, Lee, are you confident in Freddie?
Yeah, he looked okay. I'm just about confident. I'm hoping he's not abject in goal, if we have to call on for the full game here. And I don't think he will be. He looked okay to me. He looked like he knew what he was doing when he come on. He's been a goalie for a while. I knew he was the only time I know his name is from Newcastle, obviously, and he was number 3 there behind Dubravka and Pope. But, I'm sure he'll be up for it, the young man. And it's a great thing for him to make his debut if he plays in it. His family will be made up and that, and he'll be made up, obviously. So, I'm confident. Yeah, I'm confident that he'll do himself justice.
I'll say this now. If you are squeamish about seeing blood or about cuts and stuff like that, please feel free to look away from the screen right now because this is not an easy look. But when we saw Mamardashvili get injured, they didn't show any of the shots. They didn't show exactly what it was, and everyone, and some of us were wondering what it was and everything, and the likes of how graphic or how drastic the injury was. Well, again, please do turn away. Don't look about this if you don't like to see.
Oh, just quite a gash,
That
that,
is
isn't it? I didn't know it was that bad.
a bad cut.
Yeah,
Very, very bad.
it was
Nasty
weird the way he
gash.
done it, just going into the player, wasn't it? Like, but that's bad. That is a
Yeah.
bad cut. Bad
Yeah, I
gash.
saw that and I said to myself, geez, now I understand why he couldn't play on. Because first I was like, oh, he got a cut. Like, put a Band-Aid on that thing and keep it moving, right? But that's not Band-Aid. That's staples. That's not even stitches. You can't
I'm
hold
glad
it in.
I'm glad you showed that, because I was of the same opinion. I was like, he's cut his knee, and do you know what I mean? But sometimes the cuts, it's like right on the tendon and that, like, like that moves when you stretch your leg and all that palaver. So no wonder he couldn't carry on.
Yeah, that's nasty. That is nasty. Your discretion is advised. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Trudon. Let me see. What was the question you say? Maybe as a former keeper, I could. I still got my goalie gloves. I found my my goalie pants, actually, because I mean, there's sometimes where I would wear. Well, I used to wear them. I bought the pants. Like, I don't know if you guys know that. It's something. I think I had that episode. I think I had that segment in this episode or not. I wanted to do a piece about that cut is way high up, and the way that he slid in, that's why that cut is there. But I have a piece that I was going to talk about dealing with shin guards. And what was kind of crazy is, I remember my first, well, not my first, but like, I remember when I got into high school, I got these goalie pants, and the goalie pants they have padding on the sides on your hips, and then they have padding on your
on your shin,
on the shin pad. Yeah. So so that because you're diving all the time, and you're going to get kicked in the shin a lot too also. So especially when you go up whenever you go up for a cross or something along those lines, you got to go up with your knee extended, your knee up and everything. So, but it's so hot to play in those pants, so I ended up cutting off. I made them into shorts. So
you look strange, but as long as you were comfortable, you know what I mean. It's to an end. Yeah, you were doing it for a reason.
I wore shorts over top of them too, so it was definitely a little bulky, but it's all good.
You know what you just reminded me of? My first ever pair of shin pads, and they were a pair of Gary Lineker Barcelona shin pads. Must have been about 87, because just before that, obviously been playing for Everton, but it didn't bother me. It wasn't like not having them, because they just looked nice. They were in the Barcelona colours, the purple and light blue. There was like stripes across them, and they looked sensational. I thought I'm having them. They were my first ever pair of shin pads.
Yeah, I actually like the shin guards from my era were different too, because like not only it was one piece, most of them are just people just have the actual guard. That's it, and they just slide them you almost like slide it into your sock. But now, like, but in my day, it was like an actual like piece that it had like padding. It had like protection on the ankles, around your ankles, and you slid. When you put it on, it was almost like sliding into a sock. And then the shin guard part came up, and it was these like three. Some of them used air, but most of them were actual guards that went in. They're like little, like little things.
Well, my Gary Lineker also had that bit. You put it under your foot. They were part of it, an ankle guard to protect your ankle. And you put them on, strap under your foot, like you went over the heel of your foot as well. These shinnies, but they were a beautiful pair, and they did protect my shins.
Yeah. The long time ago. But yeah, when I saw that injury, I was like, geez, that is something serious, and that is something that obviously is the reason why we could see a long, lengthy amount of time before we see him back, because that could eat like that's right around the knee. It's obviously a place where where when you're moving that leg and stuff like that, you could reopen the gash very easily. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, geez, that's a bad, nasty cut. But Freddie Woodman now is going to be our starting keeper pretty much. And why I had said that he should be our starting keeper from before was because I just was not. There's times I heard someone try to make a mention about it, like as in there was a point when like our keeper doesn't play as a sweeper keeper the way that Alisson does. So there's a lot of times when he'll stay on his line rather than come out and be able to be used as an Alisson or an Ederson style keeper, even Carragher style keeper. But even when he was getting passes to the right foot, right? Because I know we have left and right footed keepers, but still the same. When he is getting past the ball to his dominant foot, his passing was very, very like it left some measure of wanting, basically. And I remember I commented on someone's post about it too, because I know there's American Scousers, I believe the name of the show is called. I've been on the show once, and he had made a comment online about, or on Twitter about, I'm really disappointed about people, the way they're being so critical and so harsh against Marmadashvili and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't think it's really about his play between the post. It's more about his distribution. His distribution has to be better, because that sparks so much of our general offense. Like, as in, that is if we can't get distribution out of our goalkeeper, then we will find that we struggle to get our offense started. And it was so bad. Very rarely do you see these days in football, at least, very rarely do you see goalkeepers throwing the ball out rather than, most kickers, most people it's either a layoff to a fullback or it's a punt, basically,
Well, he's not as comfortable with his feet as Ali. Ali had more precision as well when he kicked it long. Yeah. I mean, it was a not-so-secret weapon of Jurgen Klopp's when he brought Alisson in, that he started, with those long kicks and put Salah straight in, or Mane straight in, or whoever it may be. But I'm not sure if man was capable of that. But it doesn't mean he can't learn and can't get better with his kicking, especially if they make a point of improving him on his kicking, on a day-by-day basis in training. I don't see why you can't get better.
Yeah. No, and I mean, throws can be effective as well. I'm not saying they can't be. I mean, like one of my favorite Mohamed Salah goals, for instance, I did it on that special, was the goal he had against Manchester United at Anfield, where Ali gave him that pass. It basically gave him that outlet pass, and Mohamed Salah was off to the races. And it's things like that you need from your goalkeeper. I know that's possibly.
That was the one, wasn't it, where he ran the full length of the field? Alisson celebrate with Salah. That was that was a great one. And no wonder you remember that favourably. But
awesome.
It'd be a big game for Woodman, like he plays, which it looks like he is. So touch wood that everything goes well for him. But he looked capable. I made sure I had a good look at him when he come on. The things that he had to do, he done well. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that we are unlucky with injuries, or is this starting to look like a deeper problem with this team? Because we've had a lot of injuries.
Unlucky, I would say. If you look at Bradley's, it was just pure luck, pure bad luck. I felt Van der Ven meant to hurt him. He might not have meant to put him out
I
for
agree.
months.
I
And
agree.
to hurt him. Yeah, I'm convinced of that. Hugo, that was a bit unlucky, won it again. So, yeah, I'd say we've been unlucky with a lot of them this season. Alisson, it's just a recurring theme now, isn't it? And, obviously being as good as he is, I didn't want to admit it to myself for a while, like how much his fitness has slipped in the last couple of seasons.
Leone is very unlucky. The guy got in his first game, has his first
another one,
debut game.
Nobody anywhere near him. He just goes over like Bradley, and it's season over. It has been unlucky. We have had piss poor luck this season with injuries.
I mean, like you could say Ekitike was, no one was near him. It wasn't an impact injury. It was just him. He pressed off the wrong way and Achilles popped. A lot of unlucky runs with injuries this season.
I wouldn't like to use it as an excuse, though. You never do. That's more Arsenal territory, than ours. It's something you've just got to absorb and get on with. It didn't help that we didn't have extra centre backs to call on, and then there was the right back curse that we've had all season. Not that many different players playing right back. It's ridiculous.
Is it maybe though? I'll ask you this: is it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, Endo come in as a centre back sub when Canal guys, and we only had one centre back, Virgil, because Joe was also injured. Bring Endo in. Next thing you know, Endo's got this terrible injury as well, which was another unlucky one.
Exactly, unlucky, very unlucky. I mean, it was, it makes you just think. I'm asking if it's unlucky because, luck can explain moments sometimes, but it can also be when it keeps happening, when we keep getting injuries, maybe is it unluck, or is it maybe just a little bit of maybe squad construction, management of that squad, as in not properly rotating players, not properly, getting involved in keeping players fresh and the likes, or maybe it's overtraining them or something along those lines. I mean,
because we heard that was one of the best things about Arne, is record of keeping players fit, and last season it definitely was true, and that we were incredibly lucky with injuries last season. It seemed to be emanating from his coaching, and people were saying, it's not like Klopp now where they were legging it doing that. What was that thing called Klopp done, that sprint, where your legs would be burning, that type of shit. To cut that out as well. And I was talking to a fan online, and he said, "Oh yeah, and it gets better, the fitness thing with Arne." He said his second season.
Oh no, I agree.
Being fit, but that hasn't happened in his second season here. It is just luck a lot of the time, because you look at a lot of the bad ones we got this season, and it's not more than rotten luck for the player, with the main exception of Isaac, because I believe Van der Ven meant to hurt him that time.
I'd go as far as to say with the Van der Ven real quick, I'd say I don't believe that he went in to hurt him. I think that he was negligent in knowing that his recklessness was going to injure him. He should have been more mindful that sliding in late like he is going to injure him. And but he didn't care enough he was just intent on trying to make a challenge, I think personally, but I know some people think that it was intentionally intent on there. And also there was something that happened. I wanted to bring this up real quick because it's something that I commented on a video for. And this was something that happened in the Everton matchup. And remember, in the Everton game, there was a spot where Konate and Beto hit heads, right? And Konate went down. Beto eventually went down as well to the ground. And play was stopped. it was like in the corner, so it was almost like giving them a free kick in the corner. It wasn't a corner kick, but it was like a free kick right outside the box, basically, because of the drop ball. But Ibu was ordered to get off the pitch. Now I saw like they do this whole like ref watch thing where like Gallagher gets on there and he talks, the former coach, or excuse me, former referee gets on there and he evaluates referee decisions. He gives his opinion about it, whether they're right or wrong. In that decision, Ibu was forced to leave the pitch, but Beto got to stay on. Ibu even made a point to mention to the referee, if I have to go, he has to go. He's the one that's on the ground right now, And the referee still insisted that Ibu go and seek medical attention. So he was forced off the pitch. They get a drop ball. Fortunately for us, they don't score on us, right? Moments later, Beto goes down again because he can't see. He's having problems with his vision. Gallagher said that the referee made the right call, that the referee was that that his reasoning was behind Kanate leaving was because he was doing it for the what was the word he used? He used it for like he was doing it for the betterment of the player, or like for the best interest of the player were being held by taking Ibu off to get him medical attention. I don't have an issue with Ibu being taken off the pitch to make sure that he's okay. That wasn't my issue. My issue was the fact that Gallagher, who is a PGMOL hack, I think, was backing the referee's decision to allow Beto, who was the one who out of the two was the one player that couldn't continue on because of the head injury. That goes to tell you that if anything, he should have been taken off the pitch to show medical attention, because the referee was actually putting him in jeopardy of further injuring himself. Imagine if he's got a head injury, and imagine if they do a cross and excuse me. Imagine they do a cross and he heads the ball and he does some serious damage. That would be neglectful on the referee's part. And it's something, it's just why I think, like, I see these referee things. I don't know if you watch them or not, but I see those referee, little things where they have the referee on talking about it. And it's like, what's the point, man? This guy is just here to be an apologist for the PGMOL. He's just going to back whatever they do. He's going to back them as making the right call. He's not going to go against their judgment. And I think it was a poor decision. Poor decision.
I haven't seen a lot of this new ref cam. I've actually burst out laughing when I seen it during the derby, because it come on like it said like
yeah, I saw it.
Ref cam, and I just started laughing because there was, and you could hear whoever it was like listening on like something in the player in the background. But yeah, it's a new thing, isn't it? Ref cam.
Ref cam. Yeah, it was a weird situation when that happened, but I just thought it was interesting and something that something I wanted to share as a thought and see if everyone else picked up on that little mess up. I mean, it's just another case of the PGMOL trying to stick it to Liverpool. Basically, there was a couple of little mess ups that they had to deal with over the weekend. Dealing with with Arsenal's. There was a couple in Arsenal too. There was the question of whether the guy should have been sent off, their defender should have been sent off, or if Gabriel should have been sent off. It's been a harmful weekend for the PGMOL once again.
Well,
Let's
they're
move
getting
on.
a lot of stick now, aren't they? With like the added cameras and all the extra, scrutiny of their actions. And
Mhm.
it's a dog's life being a ref, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
I know we
it
give them a
is.
lot of stick, but in lower league and all that, like in a non-league, yeah, it is a bad gig. Like, you've got to
It's not an
steel
easy
yourself
life.
to people. You're all sorts of abuse. Basically, it's the love of the game, and you'll ignore all that crap because of the love of the game. Like for
Mhm.
refs, thing about these refs, though, is these are highly paid. These are almost bloody superstars. So I feel no sorry for them getting. Don't feel sorry for them getting stick. I'm talking about grassroots football and that.
Yeah,
And you remember yourself when you play. I remember playing as a
they're
kid.
making close to
I
they're, most,
managed
they're
the
making about
team, yeah.
6 figures, I think.
Yeah, and he said it was a thankless task just managing our team, like, because sometimes people wouldn't bring their subs. He couldn't afford to pay them himself, like, so we needed, people's subs to pay for all the bits and bobs, like the nets and all that, like. Don't know why I brought that into it. He was never a ref,
No,
like.
do you realize that an average earnings for a referee is 170 to 180,000 pounds?
It's a good gig, isn't it?
That's average. That's not so your top refs, the ones like your I can't really think of any top refs off the top of my head, to tell you the truth, because they're all bottom refs, to be honest with you. But your top refs, apparently they earn up to 250,000 because they get the bigger appointments.
Well, they get these all expensive trips you buy now, don't they? In other places like wherever in that area, like you know what I mean. They get that, like, don't they, these days? So
I
they
mean,
got
even
good.
if you're an assistant ref, even if you're a referee on the side doing the sideline thing, and their jobs pretty much is not even really used anymore, really, because most of it's given to VAR. But assistant referees make 60,000 pounds a year, and then on top of that, they get $1,000 for every match they play. Pretty wild.
Good gig if you can get it.
Good gig, yeah, good gig if you can get it. That's how it is. Yeah, good gig if you can get it. Before we move on to this other segment that I have lined up, I'm going to say hello to Nalante joining us. How are you doing, Nalante?
Good talk. Big up yourself. Big up
Oh,
the talk, and big up everyone in the chat, and big up again with kids. Big up Highlight. Big up everyone, man. We're there.
yeah. Let me also say to those in the chat that might not know, it is a birthday. There's a birthday boy on the panel. It's not me and it's not Lee. So I wonder who it is.
1 year older and 1 year wiser, I know. I'm saying that's what they tell us. They give us that one, don't they? You're 1 year older and 1 year wiser.
Yeah, big up. Exactly, Lee. Big up, Topper. Yeah, big up everyone. You Red Armchair, High Low, Wizkid, Norm, all of you, man. Big up. Appreciate the wishes. But yeah, big up, man. Big up all of you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Definitely. Excuse me. We're not going to ask how you're spending it because that could get a little naughty. So we'll move on from that.
Nah, it's not major. Don't worry, man. I'm out. I'm just catching on one or two people, so I'm back home now. I'm just chilling. So don't worry, man.
Okay, just making sure. All right, I wanted to get in. It's good that you're joining us now because we're going to get into this next topic. And what is difficult to hear is because this one caught my attention. Apparently, Curtis Jones, 16 years at the club. 16 years at the club. Might be leaving. Now, we all had the reports this year, but technically I think it was last year, if you want to put semantics about it, but it was mentioned that maybe Curtis Jones, especially when he wasn't when he had the fallout with, we all saw he had a little bit of a verbal altercation with Slot on the sideline. And after that game, all of a sudden, the reports being said that he might be going to Inter Milan. There's reports that he might even go to Tottenham as a destination for him in the winter window. But obviously, that didn't happen. Curtis stayed with our team, and everything appeared to be relatively calm. But now, it has all of a sudden picked back up. It is wild to see and hear Curtis Jones's name being mentioned. And I would ask for you two to tell me, what are your opinions on hearing this news? Are you upset? Are you disinterested? Are you not, when I say disinterested, I mean like you're not bothered if he goes, or if he stays? Or is this something that you think should happen? Is this something that you think we should move on from Curtis Jones at this moment of his career? 25 years old, I believe.
It's a difficult one because he came when we were challenging, winning, going for obviously number 19, 2020. We all remember his debut, the wonderful goal off the bar against the rivals, and you thought you have a promising career, and he's been in and out. With Curtis, it's funny, when he has a run of games, he plays well, to be fair, to an extent, and then he picks up a little niggle, and he can't get back in the team, then he's in, out, and then he has one good game, one bad game. It's a strange one with Jones, If we're looking at this season, he definitely should have started more, because again, we know about Kevin McAllister and Gravy Bristow. They've been off it, and really and truly, he should have been coming on longer sooner rather than later. He played well against Fulham, and then he didn't start against PSG, so it's a bit weird. And then obviously he's played right back. The whole right back thing. I'm just done with Slot and his right back nonsense. And obviously he done okay, wasn't great, but done the best of his ability against Everton. And then his comments after what you sent in the group talk show how passionate, what means his club. And let's be real. If Liverpool were going to guarantee him, okay, not every game, but near enough a starter or whatever, then I don't think he'd be looking to leave. But something's gone on with Slot. They're probably saying they're not going to give you new contracts. He's probably thinking, you know what? And I understand about it. You're 25. He was in and out. He's in the England squad. He's not going to the World Cup. So he's thinking, you know what? He doesn't want to leave, but I need to start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. And either one, upgrade. If you get Walton, I would like him to stay and just get the chance to fight. But if he wants to go, the same like Diaz, I wanted him to stay, then you can't blame him. He'll go. But what I would say is Slot and the manager and FSG haven't handled some of these plays that are going, which I'll just quickly mention. The Mo situation, a guy's on a 2-year contract, and you let him go for free.
Mm-hmm.
What a Liverpool Football Club and Andy Robertson, you don't even at least offer him a contract to say, you know what, put the upper light, we want you to stay, at least. So
I made the same comment too. I understand. Yep.
Yeah, it's just strange. I don't like the way they're doing the business FSG with some of these plays, and now it looks like we're going to have another rebuild in and out, which probably means we ain't challenging for the title next season, which again I'm just assuming, and it's not on. And Slot has to sort out something he's good at his management better, especially with Jones, etc. At times.
Real quick follow up to that, because I think you bring up a really good point. We're going to get into the Slot situation about him staying, but if this is a rebuild of a rebuild, because you've already been massaged into this mindset of, oh, this is a transition year, or this is the transition year. Last year wasn't the transition year. This is the actual transition year. That's been PR'd into a lot of different content creators or people and pundits and the likes that have been trying to push that narrative. But if this is the rebuild, and then we're going to have to expect another rebuild of the rebuild coming in the summertime with all these exits that we're going to talk about. How does, or where does that then put our expectations? Because you said it. If we barely struggle to make fifth place, or we're barely struggling to make fifth place currently in this league, doing another rebuild, where is the expectation line? Are we now saying to ourselves, "Oh, just make Champions League is the bar," or is it not still the standard that we all want to hear, which is win the title?
I mean, under Jurgen, like we were saying, yeah, getting Champions League, but we wanted to also be in the title race, which we usually were under Jurgen, unless something awful happens. But look, if Curtis leaves, it's just another player leaving. There's him, Salah, Robbo, Chiesa will probably be leaving. Them. Ali might leave. Elliott as well. That's 6. It's going to thin the squad out a lot, so they're going to have to replace them, aren't they? All of them. Well, maybe not all of them. Maybe we can use younger players as well. But we've already got a lengthy shopping list. Thing with Curtis is I've always liked him. I said a couple of seasons ago. I don't know when it was. It was a while back, but like we were talking about him on either yours or Brian's stream. And I said, he's got no obvious deficits in his game. He can't tackle. But apart from that, he's got no obvious deficits in his game. He can close down and harry. But he's not like defensively minded. When he first go into the team, you liked having him where Gakpo is on the left there and coming in because he's got that nice shot. And he can finish as well, but he's got to be further forward. He's been too far back for me this season. Like, he's not been close enough to the goal to get on the score sheet a few more times and to maybe play others in. But I've always quite liked him. It's just whether there's been progression now, because that was a couple of seasons ago, and I was saying that he's got no obvious deficits in his game. There's plenty of things that he can do as a player. It just depends where the team and the squad's headed, and if Arnie's going to be here, because we hear that there might not be the greatest of relationships between Curtis and Arnie, and it would be a shame not to have any players. It's not strictly necessary, but we've probably never won anything without a Scouse player, at least in the team or squad. I'm not saying that we wouldn't if we went to a situation with having none, but it is nice to have one local lad. I mean, we only had him and Trent. I think the next closest to that was Jarrell, because he was from Warrington. But we ain't got local lads now, and he's the last of them.
Yeah. It is a wild situation to think of that. Some people do think that the only reason why he's in the team is because, because of his Scouse connection. I think that is like very low, low bar, like not really being very productive in your conversation. But at the very same time, though, it is an important thing to have a player in the squad that does have a connection to the city. It helps, immensely helps, whether it inspires other youth inside the city to think that there's a pathway towards, being a part of their probably dream team. And also just the sheer fact that the player will obviously have connections and get what it means to be a Liverpool player. We emphasize that. Nolante mentioned it before about how, you want to hear your players say the right things and not be reading off a script, but saying it with heart. And that's what you can tell is what Curtis Jones is saying. Sometimes he's not saying the most politically correct thing to say, but he's just going to say it because he's thinking like not only a Liverpool player, but as a fan of Liverpool as well. It's a unique situation. Unique. Well, there is a player that if Curtis was to move on, there is a player that is being mentioned as not necessarily his replacement, but a player that the money that we get from a sale of a Curtis Jones could help push along. It's not going to be completely like for like in the number. However, Villa are interested in Curtis Jones. Spurs are watching, like I said. It's the final year of his contract. You're not going to get that much money, but you're going to get something as well. You're going to get something if you make the move in the summer. So at the same time, Liverpool are looking at the fact that Mohamed Salah is leaving, and they're going to have to find a replacement. And that replacement very well could be Jan Diomande. Now, the number that's being said that they were looking to get associated with him is 100 million euros. Is that? I can understand why RB is looking to, and some people might think it's like them trying to fleece us, but at the very same time, you're thinking about other Bundesliga teams like that have gotten over 100 million. They got nearly 100 million pounds practically for Ekitike. Got something like 80 some million for Ekitike. Why can't they, or why shouldn't RB be looking at getting a big payday out of this young player who they are looking, especially since they're going to be making Champions League? They would like to keep the player themselves, to be honest with you. But is 100 million euros too much?
It does sound a lot. Yeah, I'd be more comfortable if it was like 80 or 85 or something. 100 million euros is, I don't know what it is in pounds. 80 million pounds, something, 82,
Something like that, yeah. It'd be about, you'd be spending, basically they're looking for about the same amount that you paid for, same amount that we paid for Ekitike, around that.
Okay. It is a lot of it, it's a big fee. But he's a good player. You just have to wonder with the amount of players we need, will we be keen to do that, to pay that amount on just one player, or try and spread what we've got, over a larger number of players? I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen this summer. A little bit worried about, if Arne stays, can he do anything next season in terms of getting us back in title contention? I'm not sure, but it's a bit of a worrying time at the moment.
100 million too much for you, Nolante?
Yeah, it is. And, I've been a big fan. I'll big up Dara, who's joined the chat. Evening team.
Big up
Dara. Hey guys, just want to say, Norm, that stuff earlier.
Pick up Norm.
Yeah, Norm's in there. Yeah, I'm gonna bypass that. I saw that, Norm, but pick up. But look, Diomande, I've been onto him, man. I've showed you clips from earlier about him, and but no. As much as I want him, no. I mean, he's only had two good seasons. One obviously in Spain, he done well. Hence, Leipzig bought him. But yeah, I think it's too steep. If we do something like 60 mil plus add-ons, then yeah. But if Leipzig are asking about 80, I'm not sure. But if we do buy him, we buy him. But he's got all the qualities, and again, we don't know to be a top player. And he's the one thing that we're missing: pace. With not pace for pace sake, pace with direction, with impetus. So. Yeah, man. I want him, but again, if it will be outpriced, no point. There's other players.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he would provide some real balance for us up front when it comes to providing pace and, just as you said, direction, the ability to create and the likes. He's an exciting player when it comes to the front line.
He can play either side. We could use him either side. That's handy.
Yeah.
So we handy too.
And he can play either wing, which is even better.
Yeah, that would be very, very handy. But there's a lot of players, or not a lot of players, there's teams that are out there that are very interested in his services. So it's not a done deal that we would be, first in the queue to get our shot at bringing him into Liverpool. But it is a unique one. I know Manchester United are very high on trying to bring him in as well. There's Chelsea, Bayern Munich has even mentioned maybe trying to make a run for him. So I'll tell you though, if you saw the thumbnail, this is where it's going to get interesting because I mentioned about Ali. I know some people basically talked it down. I remember, I think it was Jamie Phillips was telling me that, or was emphasizing that it's not going to happen. I think even Barnes might have even said the same. He doesn't think that Allison's going to go, and now they've obviously done a 180 on their opinions, but Alisson Becker linked with Juventus. It makes a little bit sense now, more so than ever, because considering that he does have connections to the Juventus coach, he does have connections to Italy. It is a time in his career where if he doesn't make the move now, he'll probably never be able to make it again after, because we have another year extension on his career, on his contract to 2027. So it's reported that he has a verbal agreement. If this happens, you're not only replacing a player, you're now replacing one of the spine of our team, a pillar of our team. I'm going to bring the panel in on this one. Is this just part of a rebuild? Is this something where now you're willing to move on from Ali? Or does this seem like something bigger in the works? Lee, I'll ask you first, and then move to the one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with Alisson. We were talking before about he was such a good goalie and that this party that doesn't want to miss. It's just flipped a lot in the last couple of seasons. He's having too many periods out the team. But if we can, I don't know, if we can get him sorted, I'd still like to have him for next season, because he's a hell of a good goalie still. He's just got to be, on the pitch. No good having a goalie that keeps getting injured all the time. But yeah, I would like to think that we could still get next season out of him, and that it wouldn't be as broken up, as fractured as this one, injuries wise. But I'm sure they're looking at other goalies and that, I'm sure they have looked at other goalies. Should we wait and see on this one, like all the other positions, what's going to happen? So, there's a lot of positions that we're waiting on finding out what's going to happen, including the manager.
Yeah. I think the manager is a done deal, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, though.
I'm finding that hard to accept if he's here next season.
I can tell.
I'm going with the thing that it isn't. Just because about 5 or 6 news sources have said, but it's not, that's not guaranteed. And there is also the whole thing of the vote of confidence, because they just want to keep things on an even keel. I know we make the Champions League, and then once we do and the season's over, they can say, not been good enough, mate. We spent a lot of money last summer and it ain't been good enough. But, we'll have to wait and see, on these reports. But I am worried. It is worrying, and I am.
It should be. It absolutely should be. I mean, Alisson is not just your average goalkeeper. He's on the lines of a Mohamed Salah now, in the sense of being nearly irreplaceable. As in, he is a world-class goalkeeper that offers you not only the ability to be a shot stopper, but also the ability to play with the ball at his feet, be able to distribute, be able to be a leader in the locker room. He's a very, very grounded individual with his faith being very central in his life. And, it's a lot. You just don't get headaches from that. You won't. He's not going to be a headache in any way, pretty much, when it comes to the production and the off the pitch, contributions you're going to get from him.
Yeah, he's another one. He might not be as vocal or that, and he is in goal rather than running around on the pitch. But he's a big part of the back room, and that they all like him. He's a nice bloke. He's a big part of the that gel of players. Because he's been there a bit longer and that. But it would be if he went as well as Robbo and Salah at the same time. yeah. Big positions to fill, like in terms of having leaders and inspirational people at the club. But time moves on and players come and go, and we do have to accept that. But it's a lot of big players to be losing in just one summer.
It is. It is. There's another name out here that is apparently. There's a name that's going to be moved on from apparently that is incredible, and it makes me again really question. I'm going to bring up another individual's name after this, but it makes me question some of the guidance or the direction this club has taken in bringing in certain players. But Jeremie Frimpong, 1 year in, there have been reportedly doubts that he will be kept this summer. There's been reports that apparently that we are linked with replacing him with Denzel Dumfries. Obviously, his Holland teammate. But that's a problem to me. It's a problem because this is a player that we were very much committed towards. It's a problem because he has shown to be not able to keep up to the regiment of being in the Premier League with his fitness and availability. But it's primarily because you're replacing signings after 1 year. Like, that's not transition. That's not a rebuild. That's just like you messed up. Are Liverpool getting recruitment right now, or are we starting to see cracks in this Rembrandt that we thought we had, Nolante?
I'll just say, first of all, just briefly speaking, to touch on Ali, I don't think he'll go. I think he'll do his contracts because one, I think he's committed. He might likely commit another year and then thank you, Ali, all the best. And the club would be so stupid to let him go. Unless he hands a transfer request, then that's different. But keep him, man. You got to keep him. We need him. Yes, I know the injuries is not great, but we need to do with at least one more season with him, and then Mama or whoever will take up the sticks and we move on. That's in terms of Ali. In terms of Frimpong, look, I said it way before when we first started. I didn't want Frimpong. I mean, he's good, but I just don't rate him. But he's come in. He's again not been great. Had bad games. Had some decent games. People, what is he? Winger, right back, and so. But again, this is all speculation. I doubt this will happen. But if it does, it'd be you. Yes, like you said, Tom, you have to question Hughes, Slot. Because what are they doing in that boardroom? And to replace someone who's older, who's just as injury prone, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think that's just all talk. I don't think that's happened because I don't think Slot, he brought him in for a reason. So I don't think it's happened. But if he did, then boy, really, he needs to get. I mean,
he needs to get an earful.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Lee?
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping Ali.
No, on Frimpong.
Oh, Frimpong, sorry. Yeah, I would naturally want to because we've only just bought him. But you would wonder what sort of fee would we get? Where would he go? How much money would we probably lose? Would we lose any money? What's the reason? Is it just a fitness thing, or does he think, what a more defensive bloke? If it is Arne who's going to be the manager. Suppose Denzel is better defensively than Frimpong. Frimpong's probably better attacking wise, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know. It's yet another one, isn't it? Like, I'd be open to keep him and hope that he has a good fitness season next season, because he's only been here a year. He's been here one season. So I'd be open that his fitness is okay next season and we can see more of him. And, like, you know, obviously you can play further forward or in a flat back four or whatever, you know what I mean? You can play on the wing as well. So, yeah, I'd be more inclined to keep him, like, if it was up to me.
I'll tell you, like, you know, obviously once the recruitment is questioned, obviously you then bring up the manager conversation. And just as you're saying, you know, I know that, for instance, Nalate was just mentioning how he wasn't very bullish on bringing Frimpong in. But then again, I was interested in bringing Frimpong in, and because he was going to bring some of that pace to our right back position. But I was also interested if it was associated with him and Verts being connected to Alonso being a part of our team. But I don't think that, unfortunately, Slot has really hit, you know, the bullseye on how to utilize Frimpong or even Verts, really, to the level of what gets the best out of them, or what we saw in the Bundesliga for those two players that played have phenomenal seasons the season before this. Okay. And there was a comment made about Arne, and it was by Jamie Carragher. And he said, Slot is likely to stay if Liverpool make the Champions League. Now, we've heard that from Davis Ornstein. We've heard that from other people. And we've heard the exact opposite from reports from Germany about the fact that Alonso might be on the verge of becoming our next coach. There's definitely been a pickup in the PR campaign to bring about interest in this player, in this coach, to be apologists. I've seen his former coaches giving comments. I've seen, you know, people saying, "Oh, he deserves another year," and the likes, and yada yada. Well, I think that the fact that the bar is now top 5 equals success is pathetic. I think that's so harsh to be thinking that in a year where the best that either team of Manchester City or Arsenal can do is get 1 point above what we won the league on last year. And that's after we threw away games at the end of the year, by the way. The biggest number they can get is 85 points. This season was a season to repeat. And that's what's so frustrating, because we had the personnel to do so. And I ask, is this acceptable for Liverpool in your standards, Lee? Are the standards slipping in your opinion, or is this acceptable?
No, the standards are slipping, I think. I mean, it's all well and good qualifying for the Champions League, but you know, you've got to be a side that looks like you could win a trophy as well, like during the season. And we never did at any point this season in any of the 4 competitions we were in, look like winning any of them. Managed to get to the FA Cup quarter-final against City, but, you know, we're absolutely bounced out of that 4-0, like, or whatever the bloody hell it was. And it's just not been good enough now, especially with the money we spent in the summer. That has to be mentioned. The amount of big names we brought in, like, and it hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked to, like, this extent that we're seeing. It's definitely not good enough. And, yeah, it bears down the... I don't understand. Yeah, standards are slipping, but, like, in terms of the owners, like, we won the league and then they put that money in. Surely that must have been what was in their mind, to keep us at the top for a while, and surely they've seen from this season's evidence that, you know, we need a new guy doing it. Open us, like, I mean, it could also save the money. Like, you know, if someone new came in and has a good idea about it, rejig the system like that we're using and get more out of the players that we've got with a few key additions, but also save them a few bob potentially. But yeah, it's not good enough just finishing for the Champions League because there's 5 places. You know, there's only been 5 places for the last 2 years, so you know we'd have even missed out if this wasn't the thing. The 5 places. Let's just say we do finish 5th and qualify. Like, you know, that's only just become available. It's not good, you know.
I'll tell you something that's pretty I'll answer that in a second. See if I can find. I'm going to look for this. Let me see if I can't find. There was it broke it down in our possibilities. I already did the spreadsheet show, but what was unique about this was we're going to play Crystal Palace, right? Our next game's against Crystal Palace, correct? And Crystal Palace have Conference League, so the chances are when it comes to Conference League, they're still involved in Conference League. What chances are is that when they face off against us, you might see a very rotated squad involved for a team that's in 13th place. They're not contending for a win. Doesn't push them into contention for Europe, and a loss doesn't push them into the contention of being relegated. So you'll probably see a very rotated squad with the emphasis being on the Conference League and performing in the Conference League.
Well, that'd be lovely. I'll have to check if they are playing like next midweek, because obviously they know they're only winning the Conference League will get them back in Europe now, get them into the Europa League. I hope that is the case. Just over with Villa when we play them, like I think we play them late though, because like they've got that 2-legged semi against Forest now, haven't they, in the Europa League? But it is an extra thought for them 2 clubs that they're in Europe. To my mind, usually though, still being in Europe late in the season peps up your league form. But you know, your clubs do also go down the route of rotation, depending on how strong their squad is.
But what I was going to bring up was, let's see if I can't find it. Hold on, let me see if I can't find it. It was basically, we have a setup where we are with Crystal Palace with that scenario. Cool, we should be able to, and it's at home, it's at Anfield, so that helps as well. But what also could be a very, very big matchup is obviously the Chelsea matchup that we have, because they're contending for top 5. They'll have a new manager. They'll be looking for maybe a new manager bounce. There was a scenario that they would be better off being in 6th place than trying to be 5th, than fighting to be in 5th place. And this scenario is, if Villa is to win, let's say Villa were to win, let's say we get 4th and Villa gets 5th, or whatever the case is, right? By Villa winning Europa, right? They get a Champions League placement. And in essence, that extra spot gets bumped to 6th place. And therefore, that 6th place team will get a Champions League position in the Europe. It's kind of a weird situation. It's
I've been saying that I would like them to win it, Villa, just like, you know, because it's a Premier League team. And same with Palace. I know others don't agree, but them 2 clubs have done me no harm ever. So, like, I was thinking, I'll have them winning it. You know, it's a good one for the Premier League, and it means we get more Champions League places and that in the future. But It's a crazy one that if they make it 6 spots because Villa win the Europa League, but I think they'd have to do it, wouldn't they? But,
Yeah.
Villa won't want to place all their eggs in that one basket of winning the final because they know they could come up empty-handed like Man United did and then miss out on the Champions League.
And then miss out. Very well could. They very well could. See if I can't find that stat. It was a weird.
I'd like that if we could sell Arnie to Chelsea. Yeah, if we could get a few bob for him, Hyro, I'd be up for that.
Yeah, it's basically, pretty funny. I can't find it. I'm not going to keep looking for it. But it was just interesting. I saw that take. It's like, I wonder if they're going to put that much emphasis on it. Oh, here it is. Oh no, my fault. This is another stat. It was as things stands, if Villa win Europa League and finish 5th, for instance, it could happen for Brighton too, because Brighton's now in contention. As things stand, if Villa were to win Europa League and finish 5th in the Prem, Brighton will qualify for Champions League next season as England's 6th team. So it's pretty wild. I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of teams, or a lot of club supporters out there that are really, really rooting for Villa to do one, because that it'll open up another placement in the seating for Europe. Well worth it. I think there was
Brighton suffered in the league last time they were in Europe, didn't they? They made Europe in the Europa League, but their league form was pretty woeful, for a while, when they were trying to do both things. They righted it towards the end of the season, but yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I want to check this out too, real quick. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few permutations there, 12, for who can make what European position in the Premier League.
I'm sorry. Jeez, I'm going to tell you something. I just saw this, and this is pretty wild to think. And I'm going to bring together the team for you as best I can. I'll put the team that would have been out there. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this together for you. So there was, I'll read this to you and tell me how you guys think, because we're going to move into this next subject, but this is pretty wild. This is a wild, wild story. Okay. In 2007, R9, Ronaldo Nazario was nearly close to joining Liverpool FC. He said, in 2007, I was very close to signing for Liverpool. It wasn't just interest, it was serious. I was attracted by everything about the club, the history, the passion of the fans, the energy at Anfield. It's one of the most special places in football. Liverpool has something different: identity, intensity, tradition. You don't just play for Liverpool, you feel it. But at the time, my manager, Luxemburgo, spoke to me and convinced me to take another path, which led me to AC Milan. In football, small decisions change everything, but I've always admired Liverpool, the way they play, the mentality, the connection with the fans. Honestly, it would have been incredible, because a club like Liverpool matches everything I love about football. That's what I had to say.
Ain't that lovely?
That is really, really cool to hear. I'm going to show you. Okay. 2007, 2000, I had to get the rosters for us. 2007, 2008. I don't know if I hope Nalante heard that story. 2007, 2008 team, right? I think that's what this is, right? Let me make sure. Yeah. 2007, 2008 squad for Liverpool. our forward line was a very talented forward line, by the way. This was our forward line in 2007, 2008. Could you imagine adding R9 to that list? Or obviously, you'd have to take someone off of that list, probably. But could you imagine that? Who would you replace him in that list for? By the way,
what year did you say it was when he was close to joining us?
2007, 2008.
Sure, it's not 97, 98.
2007, he said.
Huh?
Yeah, he said 2007. That's what he said in the quote.
Yeah. And there's Ronaldo Nazario, yeah. Okay. Mad that. It would have been brilliant to see him here. He's so good, Ronaldo. Such a shame, another one of them. Shame, that bastard knee injury. He got the bad one. It done him in, didn't it, for that World Cup in France? He were himself, and they ended up losing to France, didn't it?
Yeah, Ronaldo joined in January. Ronaldo joined AC Milan 2007. He signed from Real Madrid during the winter transfer window for a fee of 7.5 million euros. He wore the number 99 for them. I remember.
Yeah, Rafa would have been the boss. Would have been the Rafa era. Yeah, that would have been good. Rafa and Ronaldo, double act.
How awesome!
No.
Huh?
Who in the what? Sorry, no, I was just sorting something out. Who about Ronaldo?
Ronaldo said that in 2007 he was seriously thinking about joining Liverpool, and he nearly did. He said, but his coach at the time convinced him to go to AC Milan. So on that guy, but this was the forward line. These are the forwards that we had on that 2007, 2008 team. And I was asking Lee, who would you have taken out? Who would you have dropped from that to make room for Ronaldo? So I was asking. Pick up JK, by the way.
Hey there, bro.
Yeah. We're just doing a little bit.
Oh yeah, Nante. Happy birthday to Nante first off. I hope you had a good day, bro.
We're just doing a little reminiscing. We're just speaking about the fact that Ronaldo, I'm not going to read the whole statement again, but Ronaldo basically in 2007, he said he did an interview and he said in 2007 he was very interested in going to Liverpool. He was serious about going to Liverpool. He says he loves everything about Liverpool. He likes the connection of the fans. He likes Anfield. He thinks it's a special place. It's a special club. And he was very close to signing with Liverpool. But his coach convinced him to go to AC Milan for the end of his career. This was the line. This was our forward line that year of 2007, 2008. Who would you have dropped from that lineup to make room for R9?
I would keep the first three, and then the last two I would have got rid of.
Oh, you dropped both of them. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like for me, Dirk Kuyt, top grafter. Peter Crouch, he did his business, and Torres is Torres. You know what I mean? Roland and the other lad. Nah, I would have. I thought you was talking about the Portuguese Ronaldo first.
No, R9.
You wanted that, but I heard the Portuguese Ronaldo as well. Before he went to United, he was meant to come to Liverpool, but we said he was too skinny.
That was
I mean,
true, that one, yeah. Because I remember
Yeah.
Julio saying, "Oh, you beat me," to Fergie, laughing, about getting to the signature of Ronaldo R9, that fella. But I fancy the idea of the other Ronaldo. Well, it begs the question: would it have been Torres because he was the big striker signing that summer? We already had Crouch. Did we buy? No, we already had Kite. We already had Crouch. 2007-8 summer. Torres was the man who arrived, wasn't he?
Mhm.
And maybe then Varane after him.
But could you imagine? Could you imagine? Because that's prime Torres too. By the way, prime Torres, and then even on the end of his career, Ronaldo. Oh, that would be sick.
Just to have Ronaldo to play for us would have been enough.
I know that would have been so.
One
sick.
season, bro. R9. Wow.
That would have been so sick. So sick.
For some, the best ever player ever. For some guys, Fozzie loves him. We were talking about him today. I got the same birthday as him, Ronaldo. I was probably half as good as him. I wish. Yeah, but I sort of say I played the same sort of style as Ronaldo. Like dribbling, I was pretty good as a dribbler. As a striker, I would be good at dribbling.
Okay. He's amazing. He was amazing at not only dribbling but his finishing and everything else. He was a talent. It was a shame that the knee injury really impacted his career, but he was still an incredible talent.
It wasn't long before France 98, was it? The bad knee injury, because it was only he was only on half power, and that wasn't enough for Brazil to win it. France deserved it, with Zidane and all the others doing the biz, but it was it wasn't him. He wasn't on full power at all, was he? He'd not long had that bad knee injury and come back. The other Ronaldo, he was into coming to Liverpool as well as Ronaldo and Nazario. He said, "Yeah, I like Liverpool, I'll come and all that." But Man United came in and got him, and he was just as happy to go there.
I was going to bring this up or later on because I had a segment on Richard Hughes, but I'm not even going to talk about Richard Hughes right now. I was going to include this portion. There is talk, since we are talking about Torres, there is talk that maybe Fernando Torres could be our next Liverpool manager. Not necessarily not meaning he's going to replace Slot this summer, but he's a manager that is aiming to eventually coach a squad, obviously a club of the stature of Liverpool, but he is someone that is interested in being Liverpool manager. And he's taking a different route. He's taking a different route than, your Cesc Fabregases and the likes. He's taking it, or even your Artetas. He's taking a different route by being the assistant coach, being connected to youth academies and the likes, and learning the business of being a manager.
That's a good way to go about it. Doing it that way, being loads of number twos, then become bosses and do well. Doesn't always happen that way, but it happens a lot. Players, managers, learn, being behind someone else, whatever, in the setup, and then they have their own ideas, obviously, and are able to come forward. Where is he actually at?
I think Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing. That's where it all started for him, pretty much.
Yeah, that's his sort of hometown team.
Remember how made up he was when he scored against
they just won.
Real Madrid at Anfield, when he was just jumping along, pointing to the name on his back with his back to the Real Madrid fans. Just get in, lads, get in.
Yeah, the Copa. They just Atletico Madrid didn't. Real Sociedad did. They just lost to Sociedad in the Copa del Rey final. Before I get into this op-ed part that I spoke of, that I said I did on the changes that we're seeing, there was something else. I know that friend of um, friend of mine. I would say because he's not a friend of the channel because he hasn't participated in the channel, but all the same, he's a friend. He's a red, so he's always a friend of ours. Mr. Matt, man like Matt from Coppish. I used to get into these little battles with him over Diaz, Mr. Lucho, and when it came down to some of the confrontations I would have, I used to, call out Cal, who is a friend of the channel, and I would call him out for not sticking up for Lucho a little bit more than some people do on these segments or on these other shows or channels, simply because Lucho never really got much praise or much or doesn't really get as much of proper accolades as I believe he should get. And again, the reason why I brought Matt first is because I remember at the time when I was on the show with them talking about Lucho and going back and forth about how I believe in Lucho. And I'm not saying he doesn't believe in Lucho, but saying how he didn't believe that he had the ability to finish. It was at the moment when he just won the Golden Boot for Copa America that year for Colombia. And I'm like, well, obviously he knows how to finish if he's winning something like that. But all the same, you have your some of your hacks out there, like your Sam saying, just always throwing mad shade towards Lucho. I know that Jamie Phillips is not a fan at all. We got into a little bit of a back and forth over the sheer fact of, I mentioned that there are some of us out there that didn't want to see Lucho go. Some of us that appreciated what he brought to the team, and also recognize that he's a player that has talent and does make contributions to the club. Now a lot of us have been called revisionists and like he's not that great and who cares that he went and blah 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 and all those other things. He's not that important. He wasn't that important to our team. That's what Jamie Phillips was telling me, at least. And I can't argue. I can't disagree more. Now, you can say that the player is not. You could say, whenever I hear people bring up players and abilities and things they've done in their careers, there's certain things that constitute players of being, oh, he's a great player because he was a part of, this team, or he's part of that team, or he's won this trophy or that trophy. I'm going to tell you that this is a statistic that I saw just recently. Lucho with his career, it has the most goals in one season. When it comes to Ribery and Robben, all fantastic legends of Bayern Munich, by the way, got their goals in Germany. Okay? But most goals in one season. Lucho now leads that list, and he's still putting numbers up, by the way, because the year's not over. But he's just passed Robben. And you can see Robben did it second. He's third on this list. And then also Ribery is fourth on this list. What's wild about this, too, is for these guys, these content creators out there that want to put shade on Mike Lucho, there is now, Lucho can proudly say, so shout out to Colombia, first off, but Lucho is one of the few players that can say he has won a title in Portugal, in Germany. He will be able to say it in Germany, Portugal, England, and his native land of Colombia. He will have won 4 titles. I just don't understand why sometimes, like, when people try to just give him a little bit of praise or give a shout out to Lucho, you have some of these guys like your Hassams and Jamies out there trying to just rather than just accept that they got maybe a little bit wrong on the player profile for the player, because I never thought that Lucho was going to be the next Mane. And I think maybe for those individuals, maybe they're stuck on the thought of, oh, he didn't produce at the levels of a Mane. But they're two different player types, two different player profiles. Yeah, you true on true. You could possibly add a Champions League into that, maybe. He is a fantastic player that I think sometimes, unfortunately, some of our fans or our fan base, rather than just admit that he was a good player, still want to be right about the shade they gave him while he was here.
Yeah, that ain't for me real Liverpool fans, because for me, when you're a Liverpool fan and you haven't clicked with a certain player and you want to be proven wrong. I was like that with Mane. I just thought Mane looked like a Man United player, and he proved me wrong, and I was happy. These guys want to be proven right, and that means even if they play rubbish for your team and you lose games, they'll be happy that they were right. So they can fuck off.
Yeah, I can't stand that when it comes to the debates and conversations, because like you bring up stats, you bring up things, and they'll be saying, you'll say, oh, this or that about players, and they'll use certain dynamics to give props to one player. Then you use those same dynamics, the same metrics for another player. I had something for Malante. Hopefully Malante comes back, because I had something for him before he went. But he's still doing it. But you use those metrics for the same player, and they'll make up every excuse in the book to validate their analysis. And it's wild. And I get it, Adam. If you look at his number, Adam, last season was possibly one of Lucho's best seasons, by the way, for Liverpool, or the year he left. That was one of his best seasons for Liverpool. We're talking about a player that had knee surgery that interrupted his career for good bits. A guy who came back from the injury and tried to play possibly too early, by the way, and then re-injured or further complicated the pathway back towards being able to contribute. But he was doing it last season, and he's doing it even this season. Let's see. What is it saying? All I would say, and he's not definitely agreeing with Jamie Phillips. Okay. Another one. I'll make it say part 2. Part 2 of the buffering, we'll call it. I guess that's maybe what we'll call it. And I'll send you guys the link in WhatsApp right now. All right.
It's actually working now.
Oh, now it's working.
Now it's working. I can hear you now. Yeah, same as Lee Whiskey, he can hear you as well. So it seems to be okay. Sorted.
That's weird, man.
It could be just a little thing, bro. It's technology,
That's weird, but then that sucks because everyone checked out. We had decent numbers, and now everyone's checked out. But appreciate that Lee stuck with us.
Nice one, Lee Whiskey, man.
Right,
Technology,
well,
bro. Justin Timberlake.
All right, yeah. Well, for the haters, Lucho, Viva Colombia. And
I will tell you one. I'll tell you one thing straight, bro. Since he's left the team, we haven't had a guy on the pitch, bar say Rio and Salah in bits and pieces, who's just kept hold of the ball for longer than 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, Wirtz could have done that. He hasn't really done it that much. But Diaz was the guy who kept hold of the ball, who kept us, gave us shape, gave us time.
Yeah.
And for me, you need wingers in the team. That's their main job. Keeping hold of the ball when it's tricky situations, tricky times of a game. And to also attack, of course. But it's a different thing with wingers for me. When you play for a team like Liverpool, you give them the ball when you want to just take a bit of the heat out of the game. Give it to Diaz. He'll keep hold of it. And Lee Wiskett said we never replaced that. It's true. Gapco is a different type of winger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He used to drag us up the pitch. He can win the treble this season. He's in the FA Cup final there against Stuttgart. Stuttgart just won today as well, so he's in that as well. So he can win. He's won the Bundesliga already. He can win the Champions League. And I think when I look at the 4 teams involved, I think they look the most likely to win it. Yeah.
Agreed. They have possibly one of the most well-structured teams, you know. I think it's interesting because, I mean, like, you know, Harry Kane is still putting up fantastic numbers, like as in crazy numbers himself, right? And no one really ever says, oh, well, Harry Kane's doing it, but he's doing it in the Bundesliga, so it doesn't count.
No.
But if it's Lucho, oh, he's doing the Bundesliga, so it shouldn't count. It's like, what is that?
Football is football. You know, look, at the end of the day, football is 11 against 11. Yeah, fair enough. The Indian Premier League is not going to be difficult as the British Premier League. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
The levels between a Bundesliga game and a Premier League game is not so far as people think.
I don't think it is either.
You know, I think Harry Kane would have scored that many goals in the Premier League as well this season if he was at a good team.
I agree.
As well. He's a goal scorer. I say he'll score no matter where he goes.
I'll tell you this much: if he was still at Spurs, he would not. I don't think they'd be in relegation. They wouldn't be relegated.
No, of course not. Of course not. No. They'd be fighting for Champions League spot or something like that.
Yep.
You know, FA Cup or whatever. Him leaving them, but it was the best thing he's done in his career.
It was the right move. It was the right move for him. That's why. Yeah, I mean, I know when people say, "Oh, well, he wanted to leave," I understand he definitely wanted to leave because we weren't offering him the contract that is worthy of his skills. First off, the contract we offered him or gave him when he originally moved here from Portugal was double the amount of money that he made in Portugal. And that's good money for him, obviously. If someone comes to you and says, okay, you're on, I don't know, 20, I think it was like 25,000 euros or something like that, you know, and it's actually more than what he's making in because it's on euros, but he's making something like 25 to 29,000 euros in a week in Portugal. Came to obviously to Liverpool and is making something over 50 to 55,000 euros reportedly a week, right? If you're going to tell me that he's a 55,000 a week player, you're out of your mind.
No way. He's worth much more than that.
He's much more than that. But he was honoring the contract. He didn't get an extension. He never got a bump up from. Some said he might have, but he never got a bump up to a higher range. Said he was making 100,000 or something like those lines. But you know, the number when you look it up, it usually was him stated at 55,000. Like it was weird because like people like Endo were making more money than him or something like that. You know, shout out to Endo for of course, but you know, if I was shelling out cash, you wouldn't think that Endo would be a higher paid player than Lucho on your team.
Well, if Lucho was on 180 a week at Liverpool, he wouldn't have probably made that move to buy him.
No, he wouldn't have.
There you go. So for me, he had to make that move because he was thinking he's getting on now. and his family needs to eat for the next 50, 60 years. He needs to earn that dough now, and he did it. And I got no worries about that. That's his own personal decision. He did it. He put a shift in for Liverpool. Had a top last season, bro. Won us the league.
And
so,
the money he's making with Bayern Munich, Liverpool would not have offered him the same contract. Not even remotely close.
What's he on there?
He's near to the twos.
Yeah, it's big time money.
Yeah, if there's bonus involved, well, for goal scoring, like an achievement and whatever trophies, you'll be getting that as well, won't you?
Yeah, bonuses.
And he's making a 4-year deal, by the way, too. So that makes a big difference. Liverpool were not going to offer him 4 years. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but that'll give him a bit of movement to like sell him on maybe in his last year if they need to. Yeah. And also, like for me, he's a type of guy. He's gonna non-stop running for you. If he's in your team, he's gonna get about. And for me, he's got better. I've noticed that in the last years of his game, he's got much better than he was when he first.
He's making dough right now. I don't know what the equivalent of 269,031 euros is, but that's a lot. It's
got a lot. He's not falling because the big beef here was that he wasn't on a big contract, and it seems we weren't prepared to give it to him. He did well for us, and he does well. He puts in all the effort for whoever he plays for. Once he's part of your club, like he gives everything. It's just that he wanted more money, and you can't really blame him, because at that point he hadn't accrued that much from being at Porto, and then with us. And he does come from the port.
He's still top whack, 25 grand a week. Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you're in the football world, you're seeing people getting Man United players like Rashford getting 350 grand a week, and he don't do nothing for years. And there's you getting 50 grand a week at Liverpool after you run your socks off. Yeah, you're going to be a bit thingy. So, as I said before, I had no problem with Diaz. I don't understand the hate towards Diaz. Diaz is a good football player. You played against him in a park, he would rip us to shreds. He would dribble past us. He would do everything. He's a proper baller. It took time for him to grow on me, but I've had a little conversation with 12th Man a couple of years ago. I also looked at his game more intensely, and I said, you know what? He keeps the ball when we need him to, and football teams need that. People think they know football, but they don't, man. Come on. Dribblers are what football's all about. What's the best goal for you? Is a guy who shoots from outside the box, smashes it top corner, or a guy who dribbles past 5 guys and whacks it in? I prefer the dribbler myself.
Yeah,
Shirky's goal versus Arsenal.
What's that?
Yeah,
Shirky's goal versus Arsenal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think about? Shirky has looked good. He's got some footwork, and he's a young man. But what do you think about City being top now?
I'm happy, and also I realise Semenyo isn't as good as I thought he was. I watched him closely the last 3-4 games, bro. I don't know. He hasn't looked good, but they're still Doku and Semenyo are good wingers, but Rio will be much better than both of them too.
I was going to say that I like the move that Lucho put on. It was against Manchester City when he did it against. I'm trying to think. I want to say it was Kyle Walker, and I want to say Rodri. Maybe was it Rodri that was out there? Remember the time when he faked? He was on the sideline. He had them.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker. Yeah. Skipper. Yeah, should have won that game. Endo was fantastic in that game. I remember.
Yeah. That's when Endo got a lot of his clink because he was better than Rodri in that game.
Yeah. I think that's when he started having that run of games. Before then, I think December. Top last year, he had the run of games. He was starting every game up to. I think all the way to near to the end. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Check that out. Give him a chance. Yeah. Give him a player a chance. Guess what happens? Maybe they play.
Use the squad.
It's why. It's why. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say real quick. It's why
Yeah.
one of the biggest qualities I enjoy from Endo, from I stated about Elliott, reasons why a lot of these players, Nunez or the Lucho, the reason why they have always been my players that I favorited was because of the same reason why Dirk Kuyt was one of my favorite players. I just like the fact that he was just all out hustle and just like one of those players that would give everything on the pitch no matter what came down to it. You could have an El Nino who absolutely has talent out wazoo, but sometimes some of these players that have who are just hard workers, that resonates with me a little bit more so sometimes than just the purely talented players that woke up talented and blessed. Some of the players that actually put in the extra effort because of what they need to do. But to each is their own, right? To each is their own.
Them type of guys are gone. And then them Dirk Kuyt type of players, not the greatest footballers skill wise, but they make up for it with their fight, their engine, their will to win, and that's why I think a lot of fans connected to Dirk Kuyt. He's a typical Liverpool Football Club player. For me, he was great player.
I'm gonna do this last little piece because like I said, I wrote an op-ed on this because it was from a piece where I'm not gonna give you the whole op-ed, but the reason why I wrote it was because of the number of legends and the number of players and the number of leaders that are all of a sudden, and I mean all of a sudden, deciding to say, yeah, this is it. Has to be alarming. And I mean players that aren't coming to the ends of their contract in the sense of, oh, this is the end of their contract and they just decided to not resign. I mean, I'm talking about players like Mohamed Salah, for instance, who have an additional year on his contract, maybe even an Alisson, who has who just got re-upped, who just got his extension taken up by the club. Under Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool wasn't just a football team. I think personally it was a living identity of what Liverpool was meant to be. We had relentless pressing with the gegenpress. We had emotional connections between players and fans. We had mentality monsters of that kind of culture. And we had a squad that was built as much on character as it was talent. I don't think that was accidental, because I think what Jurgen Klopp did was engineered it over years of persistence in getting the right type of players and the right type of mentality to be connected with this club. Now, the uncomfortable truth of it is identity maybe had a shelf life. Not because it failed, but in some people's minds, maybe because it peaked. What Hughes and Edwards are doing, this is weird to me. Hughes, Edwards, Slot. From a philosophical pivot, they are taking this team of emotion and bringing it to a team of system. Klopp built a team that could outfight anyone on the pitch. And now Slot's persistence is he's trying to build a team that must out-control teams on the pitch. That shift naturally lowers tempo, naturally reduces chaos, naturally
loses control.
Yeah. To me, it feels like it feels colder. There's no warmth to this presence of a team. And it's intentional. And that's what hurts.
And this is what I don't understand about the mindset of this manager, because at the end of the day, when you try to control something, you start off with the players, social media and hairstyles, whatever it is, just keep them in check. And we've seen with our players, they love their social media, they love their photo shoots and all this, that, and the other. And then this manager plays at a tempo where you can get pickpocketed and the game taken out, the control taken out your hands. And that's what this manager don't understand. He's so adamant of controlling games, he loses it by the way he goes about controlling that game. Common sense, bro. Me and you, I was talking to Fozzie about this earlier. Like, when you have no common sense in anything, like you can win the lottery one day, and if you've got no common sense, by the weekend, you've lost it all. And this is what this manager has done.
Yeah.
Because he's so adamant in his style and his way. He thinks he's fucking Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. No, bro.
That's a good analogy, that, JK. Saying, like, winning the lottery, like, and then being skint, like, in double quick time. It's a good analogy of it, though.
I could do that all day, bro. Give you them sort of analogies. I just see football as a simple game, and hence why we all love it, because it's simple. But we live in a world now where there's so many smart Alex who try to portray an image to the world that they will fuck up the actual thing they're trying to be involved in. And Arne Slot, for me, is a prime example of that. In the way Andy Robertson went from the best left back in the business to a guy who's probably looked Sunday league level last season, it's because of the control Arne Slot had over the team, in which way that he wanted them to play last season. Even though we won the league, we finished the season off pretty poor. But all in all, bro, I think Arne Slot hasn't used the fans enough in that way of building an energy there, thinking, how did Jurgen stay here for 9 years and left with a big smile on his face? How? I need to know. I need to find out. He didn't do it. He didn't do his homework.
He hasn't done it. That's because
he has not done it. And I'm thinking, you told the people at Feyenoord when you was their manager, I'm off to Liverpool in a couple of weeks. So you had enough bloody time, okay? It wasn't like a one day you was there Tuesday and on the Wednesday you were at Anfield. No. You had a good couple of months where you could have got the books out, where you could have rang up Jurgen, you could have even rang up Kenny and said, listen, Kenny, I'm not from Liverpool, I'm from Holland, but I've heard about the good vibe at Liverpool, hence why I'm really happy to join. Could you let me know what I need to know? He never did it, bro. Because when you're a man in this world, what is it that you don't want to ask is help? You don't want to, why? People can think less of you. You know what I mean? They can think, this guy thinks. So Arne Slot thought, to keep my image intact, I'm not going to ask no one for any help. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it Frank Sinatra way, and that's it. So it's his own fault. That's why I got no sympathy for him. I've got no, you know what? Give him another season. No. The way he's handled players as well, Chiesa would run the English channel for Liverpool Football Club. If you told him, hey, Chiesa, bro, you got to swim from the south coast of England over to France for service to get Champions League next season, bro, he'll be there before you can say boo. Okay? This manager's treated him like he's robbed the whole trophy room of all the trophies and took them home. That's not the type of manager I want at my club. So them little thing, Harvey Elliott, I'll give you another prime example. Harvey Elliott should be realistically fighting for a spot at the World Cup squad this season. What's he done, bro? Nothing. Been on the subs bench for Villa. The list goes on. If John Henry wants to give me a call, I can give him a list of 10 things, because us guys on this channel are not them sort of fans who go straight after the manager after he's had a few bad results. We always give him the benefit of the doubt.
But that's the thing about what I was saying in the op-ed that I wrote. I basically was saying that, look, I get that the squad was or is aging out. We get that, as in Mohamed Salah is in his 30s, Robbo is in his 30s, Becker is in his 32. But those players are pillars of what some might call a completed cycle, and others might say, well, there's still players that could contribute, but yet, because we have a coach, I think, that has done what you just said with, the likes of bumping heads of Mohamed Salah, or treating the keys the way he's treated them, obviously, with Curtis Jones and other players like that. There's reasons why you've seen contract hesitations. There's reasons why you've seen players exploring exits. There's reasons why a club has reluctance to extend long-term deals. And it's because this coach is I don't want to call it, because there's a term, but it's going to sound too mean. Because there's that term where you say, I think it's called, Lee can maybe help me out with this one. It's called, not because Lee is, don't get it twisted. Okay, make sure everybody understands that. It's like something like it's what is it called? It's where you're like, it's a necessary idiot or something like that, or it's like you know what I mean? Like, what's the word?
A useful idiot.
A useful idiot. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
A useful idiot, in that, like, is someone that can be the fall guy for Edwards, who I also think Edwards and Hughes, more so Edwards than Hughes, have always had this power struggle with Jurgen before this, and they've always wanted to be seen as the smartest guys in the room. And now they have the opportunity to do exactly that with someone who's not going to have the say, the pull, or the push that Jurgen Klopp had in that boardroom. He can't fight for, we spoke about how Klopp fought for Hendo's extension. He fought for Milner's extension. Guy's going 40 years old. He's trying to get Milner extended. And it was because these players serve purposes for this team. That manager fought for players like that. And it's weird because it's a mass exit. It's not staggered. It's like a compressed action of exits. Klopp leaves. Now all of our core players are leaving. Tactical identity shifts. The recruitment profile has even changed for our team. We are now suddenly paying. There was a time when Jurgen Klopp said he couldn't imagine buying a player for over £100 million. So what do? Arne Slot, you get 2. It felt like seeing these players leave, Mohamed Salah. I mean, even when I saw Bobby and Mane leave, that hurt as well. But I mean, like, seeing these players leave, the Salahs, hearing the thought of maybe Alisson leaving as well, Curtis Jones, those kinds of players. It's like watching the Jackson 5 break up. That might be dated, but all the same, it feels like that. And it is weird because you'll have quotes from Arne saying he took a Klopp team and a team that didn't make, what did he say, that was in Europa last year, and now we're in the Champions League. And I'm like, no, you're in the Champions League because Jurgen Klopp got you to the Champions League. Don't get it twisted. Yes, he was in Europa the year before that.
Yeah.
But I was like, he worked this, but in his final year, he also ended up with a 3rd place finish. And also, we should have done more that year, but he had immense problems with injuries as well that year. All the same, Jurgen Klopp qualified for Champions League, and that's why you're in Champions League. Don't act like you got us to Champions League the year before that. And those things kind of rub you wrong, as in, like, rather than just appreciate the fact of the grit and the reasons that this team possibly got over the line last season, are the reasons that were missed, or are factors in the reasons why we don't look like the same team at all. It's not perception. It's not altered realities. Tactical disconnect. We are slower in build-up. We have less verticality. We have reduced pressing intensity. We have incredible problems with the identity shift of this team and the personality turnover that we're trying to instill in the fan base to say, take it or leave it. There are connections to some of these players, and I get it. You don't have to get sentimental. I'm not saying you have to be sentimental that you never want to see your player leave. I'm not trying to give off that vibe. But what I am saying is some of these players are important to have simply because they do make a difference in that locker room. If you think things are bad now, imagine this locker room without a Robbo in it. Imagine this locker room without an Alisson Becker or Mohamed Salah, or maybe even Virgil van Dijk.
He's getting rid of anything that's got to do with Klopp now. That's the vibe I've got since he's come in. Hence why he could, look, at the end of the day, he could say to the owners, look, I need Robbo for another season. He's so important to my squad. I need a Salah for another season, you know? But that's $500,000 saved off wages with them two gone. A week, Robbo and Salah. So business-wise, yeah, it's made sense, you know? That's about how much? Half, that's 24 million a year saved from them two.
I mean, for those two players, sure. But I mean, this is why this was a Slot quote. He said, I hope people remember me for winning the league and creating a new cycle. I think the reason why I wrote this op-ed was because it wasn't the fact that people are going to remember you for winning the league. It's the fact that we're going to remember that all of our legends, all of our heroes, all of the people that we have connections and the reasons why we love this team so much, they're all gone.
They're all gone, bro. There you go.
And then only thing we have left to look at is you. And that hurts.
Mate, I don't look at many comment sections now about the footy. Sometimes I do, and it can be fun. Yeah. And someone was saying, look, you know, I've been going the match for years, blah, blah, blah. He said, but this season it's so boring. He said, you know, I'd rather go outside and wash the car. You know what I mean? I'd rather not go, just go out and wash the car. Made me laugh, that, but how some people feel.
And it's not just him saying that, bro. A lot of people have been saying recently they don't like watching Liverpool matches like they used to, you know. And I make sure I watch every game twice because we talk about the games in shows, so you've got to know what you're talking about. So hence we'll watch the game again. And it's great. Why? Under Klopp, because you're winning every fucking game. You're gonna watch it. You know what I mean? With this manager, who wants to watch a defeat again, bro?
No, I get that.
No, never bored me. But I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of people saying that, and they can't be deaf to these sort of opinions, from the fan base, the owners. You know, it can't have gone completely unnoticed that people are unhappy with the style of play and saying it's boring, etc., too slow, not enough risk. You know, you go on.
Lee, they did a survey, and on the poll, it was a simple survey of should Arne Slot or should Liverpool move on from Arne Slot or something like that. They're do you want him to stay or to go? Out of 24,000 people that voted in the survey, 23% of the people said he should stay.
Okay, so 2 people out of every 10.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Not and that's not really that much, is it?
No, it's only 1 in 4, and it's 25%, and it's
Yeah.
not even 25%, like fully is it 23. So
That's wild. That's why it's so difficult. Look, I'm not against. I want to see our coach do well for this entire season. Obviously, I want him to have a winning streak. I want him to win all the rest of his games and blah blah blah. Make sure that we get Champions League for next year. But it's so difficult because I've had conversations with other content creators, other people in chats, other people in passing, and it's the same thing about there's no real like interest in watching this type of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like that's where it is from a club executive standpoint. When you hear Arne Slot say that quote, perfectly reasonable. From a supporter standpoint, I think it's completely tone deaf because I think the fans aren't asking, did we start a new cycle? The fans are asking, why does this feel like the end of something we loved?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's the most painful part about all this transition talk and how we're in a rebuild of a rebuild and all these different little things. Like that is where it really hurts the most.
Look, answer me this question, bro, and Lee, and I'd say, but if you put an Harvey Elliott, a Darwin Núñez, and a Diaz back into this team from last season,
we win this. We could win the league. I think we win the league.
There you go. You know,
I
he
think
could have
we win
kept
the league.
Harvey Elliott. He could have said to Harvey, you know what? I like your attitude. I know you give 100% to the club you support as a kid. So it's a dream for you playing for Liverpool. I know from you, I'm getting 100%. And that's what Harvey Elliott gave us, bro. He wasn't the best player in the world. He was a good little football player who, what the sort of energies you need in a squad to get you through games. And even he scored 3 goals in his champion. This is what I'm saying. Isn't it like he didn't do nothing for us last season? He got 3 Champions League games goals in a row. So the manager's seen him enough to say, you know what, I'd rather keep him. But as I've said before, anyone who was connected to Klopp, this manager has made sure they're gone from the club. Kwanzaa, another guy, you know. Seeing Kwanzaa and Diaz hugging each other
This team,
the other day.
sorry. I was going to say real quick, just to interject one thing. This team has seen how, and this is something like Lante pointed out before about because I know Lante was talking about we should give Endo a shot at starting. Klopp did that. There was a period of time when we played Endo as our starting DM. Ended up resulting in us winning the league. We watched him go on. So if it wasn't for the League Cup, which he played in and got injured, he would have continued on starting for us. But he got injured in the League Cup, and I think he might have even completed that game. I think he played through his injury. But all the same, much like Endo is, he's just blood, sweat, and tears. And that's the kind of player.
Any news on Endo? Any news? I ain't heard nothing.
I don't think. No, he's still. I mean, I don't think he's going. Or I'm hoping that he can have a rebound for the World Cup. But
that's what I think. I'd love to see him in the last 2 games or something, just ready to come on a sub or something, so he can play in the World Cup. Probably be his last or whatever. Just that would be sound, you know. And then maybe we'll sell him next season, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll sell him. I think he'll stay on for next season.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like one of those things where it's like this team's weird. I hear people talk about we're a sell to buy team. Well, if that's the case, who do we have on this team to sell?
Exactly that.
Because the players that we're talking about selling are players that we just bought. We just had a turnover of 13. I think we brought in about we sold 13 players and brought in I think 7.
7. Yeah.
So that's a net loss of 5 players already.
The guys they will be looking at to sell are McAllister, Jones, Gomez.
I think McConnell is going to be sold.
Yeah, McConnell. So you got 4 there. Canate is staying. Virgil will be staying. Even Alisson could be on that list. So that's 5. So there's a few players who could be moved on.
Right. Now, out of those players, one, Allison's on the last year of his deal. Curtis Jones, last year of his deal. I don't know what McAllister does have years left on his deal. McAllister, the only really viable commodity out of there. But he's unfortunately coming off a subpar year for McAllister. Okay. So most teams aren't going to give you the value that you think that he's worth. Okay.
Yeah.
All things considered. So you're either going to have to take a slight haircut on getting his transfer number over the line, or you're going to be stuck with him again.
McAllister's only got 2 years left, and he after like this season's finished. Jones has only got 1 year left, so we're going to have to make up our mind if we're selling them or not, so we can get a decent fee.
You're really not going to. With 1 year left, you're not really going to get a decent fee for these players. So it's either
Curtis should be lucky if he got 25, if that. Hence, I wouldn't be selling Curtis anyway. I think Curtis, keep him as a squad member, and
that's a good point, though, Lee. Lee's got a good point here.
Yeah.
I think Argentina will do well, and I think he will have a good. He will have a good. He'll play well because some players just play more naturally. They're more comfortable being
with their homeboys,
international teams, than they are sometimes when they're with the club teams.
Is Messi still going? Is Messi still playing for Argentina?
Yeah.
Where is he club now? Is he Miami? Something is he Messi?
Miami, yeah. And Enzo Fernandez, Man City are big time interested in him. And I like him. I reckon he's a quality player. I wouldn't have minded him, but the fee, them days, he cost over 100 million, I think. Man City are interested in him. But for me, spot on the Wizkid. If McAllister has a top World Cup, wins it, you could put an extra 30 million on top of his price.
There's no official.
Or he can come back and
Messi hasn't confirmed. He hasn't confirmed. I just looked it up. Messi hasn't confirmed that he's going to play in the World Cup yet or not.
Oh, he'll play. Come on. Yeah. He's played in that.
Who else have you got up front who is an ancient? What other ones have you got?
It's a lot of football, though. He does play a lot of football. And you got to also consider that MLS plays on a different schedule than everyone else. So, it's a lot of football.
A lot of travel as well, no?
And there's a lot of travel. Well, he already travels a lot with MLS. Because
ideally, you want as few players leaving per season as possible. Like a lot left last summer, and quite a few more is going to leave now. So there's going to be quite a turnover. I just hope it's not to the extent like that. It causes disruption, and that the team can't cut it once the season kicks off.
But
we've got a lot to do this summer. We've got a hell of a lot to do this summer, haven't we? Coming in and going out, got to find everything, got to get everything sorted.
But you know what? Thinking of last year's window, you would never think the season after that we need another major clear out sort of thing. So something's gone wrong there. I think the manager got rid of the wrong guys last season. Like Kwanzaa, Harvey Elliott, for me, should have been able to do a job this season with us in the squad, 100%. So, what's his name? Arne Slot never did his homework there as well. About who are these guys? Who is this Kwanzaa lad? Have you seen what he did to Kwanzaa first game against Ipswich? Took him off. Yeah, we won that game. Maybe we wouldn't have if he didn't. But we don't know that yet. So he could say that, oh, you know what? I was right to take him off because we won it. And that's the sort of answer he would give us. Arne Slot. He's that type of guy. You know what I mean?
I just don't think that I think that people that keep saying I'm not disputing that we're a sell to buy team, but the point of why we do have money though to be able to not have to sell to buy. just from the fact that we made Champions League, and especially if we do make Champions League again. But also, why that is not exactly a relatable subject is because the players that are left that we can make money off of in a transfer, okay, are Ryan Gravenberch, who we just signed to a 6-year deal. We're not probably selling Ryan Gravenberch.
No.
Alexi McAllister. You could value him being sold, but again, that's on the back of him having a great World Cup, which he quite possibly could, and then also the sheer fact he's only got 2 years left on his contract. This would be probably the only like sensible player to be able to sell to get some type of decent money back in return for. Okay, but again, it would most likely have to be to a team that McAllister would want to go to, because McAllister probably is looking at it and saying, I want to play for Real Madrid, which he has said that he would. That I think he has said he would. For like most Argentinian players, they all want to play for Real Madrid one way or another, or Barcelona, or whatever.
Barcelona, yeah.
And the way to get to Real Madrid is to say, yeah, cool. I don't want to get a transfer this season. I'm going to ride my contract out. The same thing that Trent did. And that'll assure him a way to get to Real. So that's commodity that might not even be there. You then factor in Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai, because you're not getting any money for Virgil van Dijk, or not the money that you want. You're not getting any money for Alisson, really. He's got a year left. You're not even getting anything for Salah.
Go there, JK.
And on top of that, do you know what team that is being reported that he's going to go to?
Who's Mo?
No.
Yeah, Mohamed Salah. Do you know what team is looking to sign him once he becomes a free agent?
Saudi League?
Yes.
Is it Al Hilal?
No. I thought you said Sunday League. I was like, dang.
No, Saudi League. Yeah, Saudi.
Yeah.
Sunday League. He hasn't fallen off.
Yeah.
And you'll tell my old area.
No, take a guess. I'll do like
So
one more guess.
Oh,
It's the play. He'll be playing in Europe. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Europe.
I think it could be Bayern Munich.
Barcelona.
Barca.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I would be surprised because their wage structure is.
Barcelona has put that has put out that Mohamed Salah is a dream signing for them this summer.
Oh, he won't go. I don't think they'll buy him. I don't think they'll buy him.
If he takes a lower wage, so he can play for them, which he might want. You know what I mean?
He ain't taking no
time with us now. Like, he's been on good money with us. He could take a lower contract just so he could play for them.
Exactly.
He ain't taking a lower wage. He ain't taking the low wage, and I don't think Barca will get him anyway.
There's no team that's going to pay him. There's no team out there that's going to pay him £400,000 a week. There's no team, not even Real Madrid. No team.
No, Barca won't.
Bayern Munich's not paying him that kind of wage, and Bayern Munich pays.
We saw them in next season's group stage. We will, won't we? We'll be playing Barca in next season's group stage, if we sell to them.
I'll be very surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen.
That's what they put it out. There's a report. I don't think Fabrizio said it, but it was a report that is their dream signing for this summer, is to get him there, get Mohamed Salah to Barcelona.
Yeah, even if it works out for a season, it'll be hard for him.
That's all. That's all it is. That's all it would be. A year, maybe two. Maybe they to a 2-year deal, and then basically let them play the 1 year, and then that's the year that they would probably get the big payout to Saudi Arabia. That's
I think Barca got more pressing matters than Salah. I don't think it's a necessary need. Though of course retransfer, because with the idiots at our club somehow let him dictate terms They want more striker. They really need a striker. Alvarez. I think they need Alvarez more than Mo. I'll be surprised. I can't lie. But let's see. I don't think it will happen. But again, let's see.
Yeah, Mohamed Salah is open to play for 3 teams. That would be Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. Those are 3 teams that he's open to do with.
Real
So he
Madrid.
can stick it to us. You see, I told you, man, he don't care, Mo. You think he gives a damn? He's just
Spanish league, bit of a slower pace for him.
Yeah, I mean, is he?
This was Score 90 said Barcelona contemplating to move to sign Mohamed Salah.
You have to touch base with the La Liga.
Well, we ain't got long to wait now, have we? Before we find out what's what, like, who's going where. Like, we got a few weeks of the season left. All will become clear in not too long a time.
Look, bro, he scored 3 goals in a row now, Premier League, and I'm happy for him. He sort of found a bit of goal-scoring form again. He seems a lot happier since he's told us he's leaving. So,
Yeah,
he's probably happy he's not working with Slot.
Yeah.
Look, bro, at the end of the day, when 2 greats like a Salah and Robertson have said we're happy to leave, that tells you everything.
It has to be something there's something in the water. There's something in the cold that's making that.
They're probably thinking, you know what? I don't want to work with this manager no more because, like, for me, Andy Robertson is a prime example of how this manager has inflicted our club. Andy Robertson was the greatest left back ever, and then last season was the worst left back I've ever seen, probably for Liverpool. Andy Robertson kept on losing the ball, couldn't find his feet, he didn't know if he was coming or going. I'm thinking, yo, he looks like that sort of guy you would buy from Hull. And that's the sort of Andy Robertson I thought we were going to get. Not the greatest one we've seen. So Andy Robertson and Salah are 2 guys who are, for me, being the main sort of guys for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool for the last 7-8 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And them 2 just leaving just like that is enough to me to know that, you know what, they ain't even fight. Andy Robertson was ready to go to Spurs, bro. He was ready to go to Spurs. He had enough of this manager.
That maybe games, yeah. Something like you said, JK, you're right. Something's not right because the Mo thing, I get, Slot dropping him, and Mo was disrespectful. But how does Mo suddenly 2-year contract? He hasn't finished even 1 year yet, and somehow he's negotiated going to 3. What are Liverpool doing? And so the fallout of the manager is clear. It's clear as day now. It's clear as day now because that happened. Yeah, that and the Robbo thing. I know Slot likes Robbo, so again, I don't know if we don't know if he's spoken to Hughes and Edwards, and they said no. But why have this club not offered him a contract? Like for me personally, I think Robbo would have stayed at Liverpool for the rest of his career. The contract was offered, but they haven't. And obviously, Robbo, of course, obviously. Of course, Robert. All right.
Sorry. I just saw some good news.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. I'll finish my point quickly so you can mention the good news.
No, go ahead. I'll say I have it for the end.
Okay. And you know what? So I was just saying that, but they didn't even offer decency to offer one of the greatest left backs in our Premier League history, maybe our greatest left back in Premier League history, a contract. So obviously, and Robert would have stayed, and now he's like, you know what? I'm going. Like, appreciate the memories and all that. And then obviously the Jones scenario, he looks like he's gonna go. So I'm just not liking what the club's doing. And then you got the Alisson thing. I mean, I think Tob, you said you think Alisson will go right in the summer.
I think he will.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't. But again, possibly if he goes in the summer, then it's another rebuild, and we can't. And this is the problem. And we've got more players, and then you have to give Mama time, obviously, understandably, and this person and that. And then you go worse and Isak. It's a lot of, and it's weird because this time next season we're thinking we're going into this season. Big up Arto 6421. Big up yourself, Arto. You would have thought going to the season, all four of us agreed that this was the chance, as you say, in the back-to-back. I was expecting the back-to-back, and now we're going into next season. We don't know where we're going to be. And the manager who's lost the plot in terms of tactics and some of his statements, not using the squad to his players. I mean, you might as well just let Chiesa go on a free transfer after January. You might as well just let him go January the 1st. What's the point? The Chiesas, the Endos,
you're gonna get like something like, if he goes to Italy, you're only gonna get, we paid what, 14 million or something like that, 12 million for it.
12, yeah.
You're only gonna get probably 6 million, 8 million for him or something like that. That's if you're lucky.
Exactly.
Look,
and
bro,
I get bought.
Yeah,
go on. Okay, sorry, go on.
No, I'm just gonna say, like, is it the owners are using Slot to get rid of all the old players? Like I was saying,
that's what my opinion is. I think that Arne Slot is that useful idiot.
Brendan Rodgers, get rid of Gerrard move. You know, one of them ones.
And I don't mean idiot, useful idiot, as in like that's a figure of speech. That's not saying he's an idiot. I'm just saying that he's someone that they can use as their
ball out, like go. It was him. It was him, not us.
Fall guy, as their fall guy. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Sorry.
As a fall guy, yeah. So for me, I don't. This is what I'm on about the owners. I've never been a big fan of theirs. They're too crafty for me. If they've got any soul, they would have never let Arne Slot get away with what he's got away with this season with us. Took us from a Premier League winning team into a joke. Let's be serious now. We lost 8-0 on aggregate in 3 games, cup games, Man City, PSG, 8-0. Okay.
Are you the top team? We never do that as well. The amount of games we've lost this season is
17. Diabolical.
Yeah.
Diabolical, bro.
We'll be in with a shout at Champions League, and that's mainly down to Chelsea being even worse than we are.
Yeah. That's not a saving grace there. If Chelsea were at the races, bro, we would be in 6th spot now.
Yeah. But Chelsea's got a lot more. Chelsea's plan of management, meaning player management, is horrific. They've basically shackled themselves to these contracts. There was talk. I saw someone ask David Lynch a question of, with everything that's going on in Chelsea, do you think that we could go for Palmer? And I'm like, for why? He signed to 2032. You know what I mean?
Look, bro, they could have offered Liam Rossini when he was at Strasbourg a 2-year contract. Okay, and say to him, if it goes well, we'll give you another contract after. They could even give him a 1-year contract. Say, listen, bro, you're not a big name. Okay. So now they'll have to end up paying him 24 million. So he's sorted for life. 4 months. Fair play to him.
4 months. 4 months.
And that's the way these football clubs are run, bro. They're a bunch of idiots running football
clubs. Imagine someone said to you, hey, you know what? I'll give you $6 million a month to coach Chelsea.
You know, I mean, what's he going to say? Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm an Arsenal fan. I can't do it. But he ain't going to say no, Liam Rossini. So he's thinking now, you know what? For me, Liam Rossini, he looks like a good manager. He could be a good manager. He looks professional. At the end of the day, we don't know what the hell went on there. He should go to a championship team now. He's got enough money now. He's sorted. Fair play. And just concentrate on his career now and get to a club that's going to appreciate him like, I don't know, a West Brom.
Sometimes though, some of those contracts that it requires that if you do get fired, you still have to stay out of coaching, I think, or something along this line. Sometimes that's how the contracts are set up. So if you're signed for 3 years and you get fired and there's still 3 years left of you getting paid, it's kind of like being married. Like, you might get alimony, but you're married now. You don't still get alimony. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you guys had alimony in England.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Okay. I was going to show this too real quick because this was going to be my my moment of zen, but I just found out something else that's even better than this, a lot better than this. But Virgil van Dijk got to say the leadership boys are falling apart in terms of players leaving, so players have to step up. He was referring to what's going on with the leadership on this team, or with leadership in general. He said, you have to ask the question to the guys higher up. The leadership boys are falling apart in terms of players leaving, so players have to step up and see what the guys making decisions are going to do. But I'm pretty sure everyone has the right intentions to make us as a club competitive and hopefully not have a season like we're having this season again. He says players have to step up, or you grow into that leadership role, or you already have it in you. That is something players have to show even more next season. After the World Cup in preseason, it'll be interesting development in terms of how the management sees it as well. And then we have to tackle the season in the best way possible and not have a season like we had this season again. We are playing 5 more games and we have to try to get qualification for Champions League done. It's definitely not the standards that I expect and envision, myself being a Liverpool player, just to qualify for the Champions League. That's what his quote was. I would like to say, after all those players we talked about leaving, it sounds like VVD has every intention to be here next season. So that's a positive. From what he's saying, he's talking about next season and having a better season than we did this year. That's a positive. Some people have Virgil van Dijk leaving. Some people have Virgil van Dijk done. I'm gonna say it's silly and pathetic. Again, the normal candidates or the normal people that are associated to these horrific takes, like Mr. Hassam and the likes of Judge Mo and all these guys out there that are saying Virgil van Dijk's done. Let me tell you this. Virgil van Dijk in 25-26, he is first in aerial duels won. He's first in passes.
Mm-hmm.
First in forward passes completed. He is first in accurate passes in the final third. He is first in passes, or I said passes completed. No, I said passes, but he's first also in passes completed. He's also first in short passes completed. He's also first in headed goals. And that is not just in the Premier League. That's first in the top 5 leagues, and the top 7 league profiles. This narrative about Virgil van Dijk being washed and being done, even in his most off freaking year of his career, he is still someone that sets a benchmark for others to follow.
Exactly.
Frustrating. So
bro,
frustrating.
Look, at the end of the day,
Stupid takes.
when I see fans going after these two guys, Salah and them, I'm thinking, you know what? What's the point of football? What's the point? Well, imagine we played for Liverpool for 2 years, bro. They would have gone after us like these content creators, so-called Liverpool fans. They would have been after us straight away. Yeah, who the hell's this guy? Blah blah blah. You know, they like not knowing all of us. I can play football to a good level. I'm a good football player, and I appreciate other good football players. When you're rubbish at football, what you're gonna do? You're gonna think everyone's fucking rubbish. My opinion. People like Virgil van Dijk and Salah, for me, any Liverpool fan who can say anything bad towards them need to realise what these two guys have done for us. That's what I'm on about, the thankfulness. And that's what it all boils down to.
There's no appreciation in football, really.
No appreciation, bro.
There's no appreciation anymore. There isn't. That's why, like, sometimes when I see like your Montes and your and I'm calling these guys out, and because it doesn't matter. I rarely think that they're going to invite me on their show, so I'll just call it as it is. Look, you know, like I'm lagging.
Thank God.
I hope I'm not lagging, but
No, you did. You did.
okay. But I was just gonna say, like, it is what it is, because when you see these people allow for, sometimes it's bad enough that they allow for they're on these massive panels with, Arsenal fans and
That's what it is.
all these,
That's what the problem is.
or they let all these other people that are from other teams onto these panels, and they sit there and they let them basically,
Dictate. Mm-hmm.
yeah, what do you guys call it? Like shag off, I think. Is that what it is, maybe, or something like that? Or they basically just let these guys talk their mess on our players as if it's the truth, as if it's the gospel.
Yep.
And I've seen people talk about Virgil van Dijk, and I will understand, let me say, that Virgil van Dijk is not having a season to remember for himself, for his standards. But it's not like Virgil van Dijk is done. Slag off. There you go. Thank you.
I was thinking, what word was that?
Shaggy. I don't know, shag or slag. I knew it was something like that.
Wicked.
Anyhow, it's like you see that, and it's like, okay, it's one thing for you to hear from rivals, but you'll also get on these panels where it's just Liverpool fans, Liverpool supporters, and they'll co-stamp this nonsense about Virgil van Dijk. Oh, he's washed. He's done.
Because it's written in the Bible. Bad association spoils useful habits. So when you get these Liverpool fans going on other channels with United, Chelsea, and Villa, Arsenal, and that, they have to portray an image like, we're gonna enjoy it, like we can't not agree with you sort of attitude. When you got Arsenal fans all ripping into Van Dijk, the Liverpool fans will join in because they got no choice because Van Dijk's not been great this season. But when you read the list of all the accomplishments, he's first in everything. So these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yes, but you can't fight back with those things because people don't want to hear that. You'd rather be invited back onto these panels. You want to be liked by
sellouts, man.
By some of these people in the chat just because your opinion is.
I'm not agreeing with no one who disrespects. Like for me, I can't agree with someone who's just disrespecting the players 24/7. You know what I mean? You can have an opinion on a player. That's no problem. But when it comes to the gender,
be constructive. Just be constructive with your criticism. That's all.
Yeah.
There's when Virgil has a bad game, I'll be quick to say, oh, he had a bad game. If Eagle has a bad game, I'll be quick to say he had a bad game.
Yeah, of course.
I'll also be assertive to say when he has a good game, I'll call it out. And I'm not going to go as far as to like slag him off, right? Is that how it is?
Bro, for me, Gravenberch traveling this season in games has cost Van Dijk and Kanate their solidness from last season. It's as simple as that. Gravenberch protected them.
Yeah.
He protected them last season. This season, he's gone wandering, bro. All season, he's getting goals and assists, no doubt. Don't get me wrong, he has. He's done that. But he's made big gaps at the back, and we've conceded a lot of goals because of that. So,
yeah. Trust me. I mean, you think I don't know about Virgil? I made a spreadsheet of all the games and his player ratings in all the games. Not my personal player ratings, like the ratings that he got statistically. It's a lot more games he played well in than games that he played poorly in. But if you were to listen to the narratives that you hear on some of these channels, you would think that Virgil van Dijk is going to retire this season.
If you ask any Barcelona, Madrid, or Bayern Munich fan right now, which defender would you take from any team the Premier League? They're gonna take this guy. You know what I mean? Come on.
Easily.
You ain't getting better than him. For me, the best ever defender, centre back, and he would partner Alan Hansen in the best ever Liverpool team ever.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'd say that, like, for everyone that's talking about Gabriel and Saliba, like, come on, dudes, really?
Gabriel, he's an aggressive centre back.
Gabriel is an aggressive centre back that gets away with murder.
Yeah. But this guy, Van Dijk, come on. the guy never sweats, bro. That's how good this guy is. You know what I mean? This guy doesn't even know how to have a shower after a game. He's so cool, man. Yeah, what a guy. What a player. Top professional. And he has been most disappointed guy I've seen all season. He's been pissed off, man. And he was happy on Sunday. When before Salah scored even, he was cheering. He knew Salah was going to score. Then bang, he gets a winner. Come on. And he was happy after getting that winner. So Van Dijk loves the club. Loves the club.
It definitely does. Look, we're almost at 3 hours. We went way over than we normally do, but it's all good. It was just conversation being had. I know it's a late night situation. It's going on 1, 2 o'clock in the morning for some people. So I'm going to make it, end the show here so we can make sure some people can get some rest. Let's just get their beauty sleep. But I definitely want to say, drop your thoughts if you have differences in what we had to say in the comments. Definitely would love to hear your viewpoints. Also, I did say I have a fantastic moment of a moment of Red Zen for us. So I'm gonna let the guys say peace out or say their last thoughts, give their Jerry Springer final thought.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for being with us. Take care of yourself and each other.
There you go.
I can't remember the exact spiel, but it always made me laugh when the little graphics would come up and like a triangle that said final thought in it. And even that tickled me because I'm a big kid like that. But yeah, the final thought after all the mayhem was always funny, wasn't it? Like, that was the point. But it was a funny guy.
He
used to come over and do British telly. And like, I remember him being on Richard and Judy a few times. I think he hosted it for a week or some shit, like when he was over here, Jerry, this morning, which used to be filmed in the Albert Dock in Liverpool, but then moved to Manchester. To Salford Keys.
Take care of yourselves and each other, he would say.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself and each other. Yeah, that's it. Words worth keeping. You guys,
I think he was the main. When you think of talk show hosts, he was the main guy. Like, when we looked at America, we were like, Jerry Springer. Ricky Lake was there, but Jerry was the guy. And you had Roman, probably. What's his name? Roman, probably. What's his name?
Mari. You're not the father, Lee. In the case of 1-year-old Cinderella, Lee Carson, you are not the father of Cinderella.
Oh, thank God, Jerry. Thanks for telling me. I was right there.
No problem. We'll console you, Tracy. We'll console you.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was born in England. Lee Wiskid was saying, I think was he born in London or Liverpool or somewhere.
Oh, was he? I didn't know about that. Oh,
yeah. You could tell he was British. He just had that British element to it.
He had a good strong American accent.
In Liverpool, but he had a connection to Liverpool. I do remember that from when he come on this morning at the Albert Dock. Say there's a family connection with Liverpool. Yeah, he was a lawyer, wasn't he, Jerry? Before he was talk show host, I think, something, or worked in that sort of field. I used to buzz off Judge Judy, mate. Judge Judy was dead funny.
Oh, my mum loves that.
Yeah, Sally, you remember her?
Sally Jesse Raphael. I was going to say, again, a name that some people probably don't remember. It shows how old I am. But before Jerry Springer was Morton Downey Jr. I don't know if you guys remember him. You ever heard of him?
No.
The name rings a bell.
Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah, Montel.
Was. No, not the Montel show.
Oh, yeah, everyone Montel, JK.
Okay.
That's different. Yeah, that's
he's different.
Montel.
Yeah, there was a few that like you'd watch a little bit, but they weren't as good, were they, as Jerry Springer?
Sally Jesse Raphael she was famous for her glasses. She wore the glasses. But like Morton Downey Jr. was like,
I remember one.
He was like the big talk show guy before. He was like Phil Donahue. I don't know if you heard of Phil Donahue either, but
Yeah, that too was just about to mention. I've never talked to him. Like, he didn't seem likable as a bloke talking to
no,
you.
he probably wasn't.
He seemed smarmy.
Yeah, but Morton Downey Jr. used to do what all of the other guys do now, or Jerry Springer and all those guys did back in the day. He would do like what's the guy's name? He's a reporter too. He's from I think he's from Puerto Rico. Rivera, Julio. No, what's his name?
Geraldo
What's his name?
Rivera.
Geraldo Rivera. That's it. Yeah, like it's like Morton Downey Jr., Geraldo Rivera were like around the same era, and Morton Downey Jr. I remember he used to scream at people and like get in people's faces. Oh my goodness, it was like ridiculous. If you ever do this, he was a wild one.
It didn't come as naturally to program, but it did then appear here, all these like rip-offs of it and that, like, you know what I mean, trying to plough the same furrow, like, and that, like, you know. What was that one?
He was wild.
I could tell it as well. What was it called? I can't even remember his name. It was like a British one of a morning. Not Jeremy Kyle before him. No, Jeremy Kyle. That's him. Jeremy Kyle. He was a charmless nip as well. Didn't like him. He seemed like a right disagreeable individual, should we say.
Well, I did say obviously happy birthday to Lante as well before we end the show. But I did say I had something very, very, very cool to announce today. Since we're on some, I can tell you, on some, who was the one, Maury Povich style stuff, you know? I can tell you who is the father, okay? There was no doubt in who the father of this one was. But
I know what you're talking about. But I know you say it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I will say this. Congratulations. Moment of Red Zen is got to be that Bobby Firmino has a new baby boy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Finally.
Yep.
Bellissimo, whatever.
Finally. They say, I guess they say what, 5th time's the charm? I guess. Because he has 5 children. And this is his 5th child. And this is a boy. So maybe
you can train him now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we have a little Bobby Firmino right there that's going to grow up and be another Red.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully, you know. So, congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations. It's kind of funny watching the documentary. I remember the first bit when he was putting. Yeah, it was when he's. I think that the house he's playing with his daughters in the background. I think that's what the youngest daughter. He had in the arms, and he's like, he's joking with his missus. Said, and he said, "Are you gonna have any children?" Looks at his wife, goes, is that it? And she's like, no more. Obviously, Bobby's got the magic. Obviously,
the old girls, he's got all girls, hasn't he? So
it's nice. So they've completed the legacy now, isn't it? Yeah, it's like that. I mean, you're blessed with children, but of course, you want a girl and boy in each one. So sometimes it happens. So yeah, I mean, fair play.
It was lovely, that documentary about him, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, man of God, you know.
I liked when he showed his mum and dad, like, and his mum started tearing up when he was singing the Bobby song on the telly, you know, before a big game stuff, like, it was dead tender, dead touching.
Yeah.
I say it's funny. There was a video of him. He was with his family, and he got approached by a VVD impersonator and like all these different types of like football impersonators, and he started like being like, "Oh my god!" He's like saying who they were. It was kind of funny.
Nothing that. He's a proper guy, Bobby Firmino.
He's a proper lad for sure.
He's a proper, like, when you see him, you think, whoa, he could be a bit You know what I mean? But he was a proper professional, love winning, and
Yeah.
I think he was the main. When you think of like Van Dijk and Alisson, yeah, very important. But I think when you look at the attack, he was the glue. He was the guy, man.
Oh,
What a player.
absolutely. Absolutely. On top of that, I
His
even
goal
go as
against
far as to
Arsenal.
say, oh, his goals.
Yeah,
That goal against Arsenal is
Where he done
legendary.
with them players. My favourite goal of his, man.
Legendary.
What a goal.
He's seen
guy,
once
what a
That was
with him.
a hat trick that night, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he got Mo to top the trio off, like, and we were golden, weren't we? And he lasted so long, them three as well, didn't he? Really, they had nice long careers, all for us. Mane slightly less, like, but he still had a long time here, Mane, like, you know, still went on a good, what was it, 8 seasons, or not 7 or 8 seasons.
And we got
I'll
him
tell you this
before-
too. He gives a lot of
Well,
credit to Alisson, who baptized him. And I know that as being a resource or a real resource in his life, because like he was a party boy, you know, and he got himself together and got himself focused, and that helped prolong his career, I think. So
Yeah.
more power to him. But yeah, baby boy. Oh, baby boy. I don't know if it's, I don't know. They got to find out. They're going to name him, is he going to be a junior? Maybe?
Bobby Jr. Perfect name. Dallas.
Bobby,
Bobby Jr. Give him a cowboy hat as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe. But
But fair play to him, man. Happy for him.
The name of the child is Samuel. His name is Samuel. That's his name. That's what his name was.
Yeah.
Definitely modern. That was Lee Wiskid's favorite player of the modern era. That's high praise.
Yeah. Probably could be mine as well, bro. Love this art of how we play football. What a guy. What a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that goal against Stoke he scored?
Yeah, the volley, the one bounce, and then he volleyed it.
Bang! I was like, you know what?
That's what Champions League. I remember that.
Yeah. What a goal!
I just remember all the. I think he had the most no look goals for our team.
He was an artist, bro.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
go wrong, you know?
ran his business really well, like quietly and efficiently in that position, didn't he? And just produced great balls, like, and great link play. And some of his touches and finishes were just sublime, weren't they? But it's the hard work as well he put in, you know, the amount of graft he put in to make that work, like what we had when Jurgen first got that trio of players together. It was a great time on it, like. We were lucky, we were spoiled and blessed, really, weren't we, in that period to have the three of them. And they didn't them injury too much, either of the three. Probably Bobby, maybe more than the other two. But yeah, we were blessed.
Definitely.
I'm happy he played for us. Yeah.
I think we were just as Lee said. I think we were blessed that he played for us, because I think that I don't know what striker could have been a better striker to have as the glue
At that time.
At that time for
No
Mane, Salah. I don't think any player could have been. He was so selfless when it came to to the scoring and the likes. Most strikers are all about feed me the ball, let me get the goals. He was happy as long as everyone was happy, and I think that he really kept them not only on par on the pitch, but I think he kept them together even off the pitch, because I think I think that you could tell Mane loves Bobby. I mean, like, there'd be things that you could see Mane was mad about, and then he looks at Bobby and it's like it all just like melts away. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was like those things. Again, this is beautiful.
He's probably my favorite player as well under the Klopp era. Yeah. He was just top level, top guy, top professional. Sad to see him leave us and that, but
it's like a play. Sorry, Joe. Was the type of player you did like watching. He scored many memorable goals, probably my favourite, or definitely right up there, is the header away to AC Milan from the corner of the box. When we I think we took a corner, or took a short corner, and just come to him like on the corner of the box. It was such an outrageously good, well placed header from such a distance for a header. It just sailed straight in. It's like it was pure technique for a header, which he and he was such a good technical player, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Same
I'll
with
tell you
that
that.
assist he did, where he stood on the ball and did a turn on it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was about to say the one unique thing you can say about Bobby is that his goal catalog, his goal highlight catalog, is probably on par to his assist catalog.
Yeah,
His assist catalog is ridiculous. There's some assists that he has that are just next level. What the things that he did with some of the passes that he made. What a player! What a player!
He's the way he played football showed me he was comfortable with his own game and he knew exactly what he was doing. You see it in players in the way they pass, in the way they move, in the way they do things. When I was watching that Burnley game against City the other day, their striker Fleming, I'm like, yo, has this guy ever played football before? And he's playing against Man City for Burnley. I'm like, yo, get this guy out of here, man. No wonder you're getting relegated. And then you go and see Bobby Firmino, a guy who could dance on the ball to set up other guys and stuff like that. Come on, man. This guy was on a different level. Yeah, man.
Yeah, agreed. Well, it is midnight. It's just hit midnight. So I will say adieu and wish everyone well. And what's the saying? What was the saying again? Is for Jerry, it was take care of yourselves and each other, and up the Reds each and every time. Big up to everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.